Make sure that's running. Wait, did that? Okay, good. It is recording to the right location. Okay, cool. All right, so that's going. We've got sound, all that fun stuff. Good, good, good. Okay, cool. All right. Obviously we're still waiting on Shadow, but Shadow will join here probably at this point in about 10. I'm guessing 10 or 15 minutes. Last we left off, you guys were mid-combat with fighting off a group of strange and mysterious ambushers that had assisted in the attempted capture of Daxori. Daxori was accosted by an individual that was seeming to be tailing her, and when Dax tried to investigate in an alley, she was jumped. A quick little scuffle ensued in which she was poisoned with a poisoned knife blade. And then, right as she's basically passing out, you guys showed up to try to rescue, try to be a rescue for this. And in that moment of returning the assault on the ambusher, a collection of individuals kind of emerged from rooftops and other alleyways in the near vicinity and went to aid their ally and dispatch with all of you. You guys concluded combat last session by taking out all of the attackers, some with perfectly placed headshots with some powerful eldritch blasts. Others were sent careening into the sides of buildings with shatter spells. Some fell into rooftops through the same use of those same spell, and others were turned into an undead servant, which is now used as basically a horse for a 3-foot tall squirrel. Is an interesting combat for sure, not to mention all being overwatched and aided by the onlook of a major illusion of a purple dragon, which is beyond rare in this continent. We concluded last session with some looting and some investigation, as well as some pickpocketing of these corpses, of which Daxori stumbled across a letter that she privately read to herself, a rolled up piece of parchment that she above table had identified as a wanted poster. Everybody collectively found different items and coin, and all of these members had a similar piece of some sort of insignia that was emblazoned, embossed, or otherwise on the uniforms or accoutrement of these various individuals. Several of you did recognize this symbol from previous dealings and run-ins in the past. Some of you did not. For clarity, those that did recognize it kind of right off of rip. I don't remember the rolls. Actually, let me look at the roll here before I just jump in.
I didn't even have to roll. I had notes.
Yes, okay, so Pipwick recognized it in a sense. He didn't know exactly who these individuals were, but he did recognize that these individuals have a history of dealing in all sorts of black market goods, but predominantly slavery, and predominantly his recognition was that this group is not above taking goblins as slaves and selling them. Talina had not heard of these people before, had not recognized anything. Kyria, using guidance, was able to recall exactly who this group is, and I will circle back to that in a second. And it looks like that was all of the history checks we had on that one. I didn't have Rhea make a history check for other reasons, but for those that did recognize this, the symbol represents, and I think I even showed it. I'll show it again since it's been a week.
Yeah, you did show up.
I thought I did. Hang on, I'm trying to remember how to navigate this silly thing.
I seem to remember out of character I was saying, oh, this is like the Zentarum from this
Correct.
universe.
Yes, that's a very very good facsimile. This is the symbol you guys saw either on the cloth clothing or emblazoned onto leather pieces of armor. But those of you who did recognize this as the symbol for the Iron Brand. Exactly how it spells, 3 words, the Iron Brand, and having kind of a wide range of reputation or reputations across the continent of Adalia. That being said, we're going to pick back up as you guys are standing in this street. The sun is basically almost at its setting at this point. It's evening. It's getting much darker at this point. The sun is kind of at or beyond the horizon at this point. It's the dusk hours when it's getting darker. You guys have just had a very loud battle with multiple shatter spells being cast, a lot of eldritch blasts which do go boom, holes being busted into ceilings, individuals being thrown into two-story windows, and etc. And you're standing on the street of a populated city. At this point, everybody's been looted. The bodies have nothing left on them to your guys' knowledge. Everybody's checked everything. What would you guys like to do?
Is there any kind of cloth or tarp that is not, like, in the area that I'm standing, that is not tied down, so that I could cover the three? Not to, like, hide the evidence, but more to, like, you know.
Sure. If you want to roll me, just roll me a quick perception check. I'm not gonna say investigation. Actually, where is Talene? Oh, there she is. Okay.
Well.
Okay. This would not be a disadvantage, by the way, because it's no longer pure daylight. So you would have a 10
well, in that case, it's a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10. With a 10, you can see that there are several canopies, like similar to the one you see here. If it'll let me ping. Game, hello. There we go.
Right, but that's attached to the building.
But it's attached. So you basically, you don't see any that are just draped out that are large. You do see various amounts of folded up cloth at some of the nearby stalls that are kind of closed up for the day that you could theoretically grab. You just don't know how big they are.
I did my best.
Okay. Trying to see if I can find...
I know it would usher the group that we should probably head back to the folks who we're talking to, because they're probably waiting for us, or at least we're doing things for us, and we should get the results.
I'm like pacing around in circles, just going, nope, fuck this. Absolutely not.
And apparently there's a dog somewhere nearby that's barking.
It's down the alleyway.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that's Scorched. Yeah, that's Scorched coming back. Just I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What, you don't want to continue your political platform?
That noise was a little yippy for Scorch. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, it was.
I will say, Rhea's plan of attack for immediate action was going to be just speaking to Dax, so I will be, I guess I'm just waiting for Shadow to get here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What everybody?
I'll look.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll look over at Talina. She'll be like, no, the political campaign is a great idea. Being taken as a slave is a horrible idea.
Where's that coming from?
Didn't you say to me, did I mishear something?
I don't know what this group is.
Oh, okay.
You do. I don't.
Well, I was like pacing her. Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding you correctly.
Yeah, for clarity, above table, the only individuals of the group who recognize this symbol and know who these people are Kyria, Hilrea, and Pipwick. Everybody else has either didn't roll or don't know who these individuals are.
I wanted to just make sure where is that coming from was
Main character.
Not who is talking to me.
I didn't think about it that way. That's funny.
I'll just be like, yeah, no, these guys, bad guys. When they look like them and I look like me, bad time.
And for clarity as well, Kyria, you would know based on your very high history check, not only who this group is, you would know that while Pipwick's statement is factually true, their interest and business around the slave trade does not start and stop with goblins. It extends far beyond that. Pretty much anybody's fair game as long as they have potentially, as long as they have potential, quote, value in the slave trade. Yeah, go ahead. You can make that roll for the person who just asked me that.
Okay.
Slave trade. Nothing that a drow is unfamiliar with.
Normally, yes. But being that this is not the Underdark, actually, you know
Oh yeah,
what?
I don't know this group specifically.
No, you
but
know what,
I know
though?
slave trade exists.
Yes, roll me a history check.
Another one?
You did roll one.
I rolled
that's
a
right, you did.
4 on
Never
the
mind,
other
I
one,
forgot
yeah.
you did make a roll.
Yeah.
Nix that. Never mind. Yeah, you don't know this group. You know the slave trade. You've run into slavers down in the Underdark, and have run into surface dwellers who are conducting business in the Underdark. That's not uncommon, but you've never encountered this group specifically. Sorry, I forgot that you made a history check roll last session.
And she's not exactly one to
No, this is
partake.
not her.
So
Yeah, this isn't her. This isn't her scene.
That check was made, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I with a 6, nothing changes based on what you already know.
Okay.
Okay, so are you guys still kind of standing around in the street having this conversation? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm like pacing in a little circle.
Okay.
Again, my actions are kind of hindered by
Sure.
the need to talk to Dax right now.
We will say that for now, Daxori clearly does not look like she wants to have a conversation. She seems very distracted by the contents of this letter and parchment that she's found on this corpse. She's not shown it to anybody. You saw her quickly glance at it and pocket them and kind of turn and head in the direction of the group, but doesn't look like she is ready to have a conversation. Looks very distracted currently. It's like she's focused and she's alert, but she's like thinking.
With that kind of action happening, how Rhea was kind of just, I wouldn't say leisurely, but making her walking way over to Daxori after the fight had all finished up.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I'm assuming that as Rhea got up behind her, the little like gravel footsteps sound right behind as she stops. Oh.
Lizard.
Perfect
Lizard.
timing. Perfect timing. Shadow, when you are hello, I'll wait for you to log into to Foundry here, but we were just sorry, brain. We were just talking about where we left off last session and things that were remembered. Do you remember that Daxori found some items on the corpse that she looted?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Okay, cool. As of right now, the extent that's happened is Pipwick has basically had a brief conversation with Talina saying, nope, F this. These guys are bad news. Talina doesn't know who these people are. The most I've done for Daxori is say that she's been very distracted by the items that she found on this corpse. And it didn't initially look like she was ready for a conversation. However, since you just literally arrived as soon as I hit the period on that sentence, at this point, basically, Hellraya has approached you, kind of visually looking like she's ready to have a conversation.
So, yeah, to reiterate, Rhea had been walking across, like, down the road the entire time. That basically, Talina had been taking bodies over to the side area. Everybody had been clearing up and patting down and whatever. By the time Rhea gets to Dax, I would assume that she's trying to put the items in the pocket. I'm not sure if Rhea would see it or not.
No. So Dax had already put all of the items in her pocket, other than what she suspected was the wanted poster. Everything else she put into her pocket without even looking at it. I had you tell me what it was just so I knew ahead of time, but she hasn't actually looked at any of it.
Gotcha. Okay, that's right. I forgot about that. She just immediately pocketed it. Okay.
So Rhea approaches and then just kind of makes sure her footsteps a little bit more audible into the gravel on this road as she gets behind Dax, just not to startle.
Dax wouldn't necessarily move, but you can see like her hold on, I'm trying to think. You can see her like right ear kind of flicker, like she hears you and she's kind of acknowledging you, but she doesn't move.
Are you okay?
No. I'm tired. And I'm bloody. She kind of says, like, stating the obvious. Like, she doesn't want to confront what she just found yet. So she's kind of going towards the obvious.
You and me both. Dax wouldn't be looking behind her, I'm assuming, but Rhea is still kind of glancing between Dax and the body that is now laying there, failing to hide some concern in her face, unlike what she usually does.
And with that, Dax kind of just, while she's still sitting there, rolls the wanted poster back up and kind of hands it over her shoulder, like, you can take this.
Rhea will kind of like lightly take the paper in her fingers, and I'm assuming this is like what you showed me.
All she does is nod in response, and after she nods in like quick response, she immediately like stands up suddenly, almost like she is like, I don't want to be at least in this area at the moment.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Spells. So, general magic rule question. Prestidigitation includes fire play. Could I basically just spark this page ablaze and let it go away?
I think so. Tyre up on that one. You can help me out with that. Is prestidigitation, because it's an illusion based thing? Does it actually generate fire, or is it just the illusion of fire?
You can instantaneously light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire. I'm
Okay, so
assuming
then-
if you can light a small campfire,
then
you can light a piece of paper.
100% you can do that, yeah. Unless the paper was wet or something, but yeah, in this case, it's dry and crackly enough that, yeah, it basically, you look at this poster and just...
Basically, Rhea would, like, making sure that the image face of the page doesn't view to the group to prevent any sort of shoulder looking.
Mm-hmm.
Peeks over it just to double check what would be on this paper.
When you turn it around and look at it, it is a carbon copy of the wanted poster that we discussed in a previous session that Daxori found. It actually, I can show you exactly what it looks like. It looks like...
It's also transmutation, so, you know.
Mm-hmm. Prestidigitation is transmutation, not illusion.
Sorry, I don't have it up in front of me, so that's my apologies.
That's fine.
Yeah, no. So, seeing this, even if it's the faded and worn version of it,
mm-hmm.
basically as Dax stands up and I'm assuming turns to start going towards the group. Is that what's going on?
She doesn't turn like she's going towards the group, but she does turn around, and now she's kind of just like standing there.
So looking towards Rhea, or like past Rhea,
No,
I should
no,
say.
she's looking at her feet.
At her feet. Okay. So with that, Rhea sees this, rolls the paper back up, gives it a quick snap as one end of it lights and falls to the ground to burn itself to ash. These aren't common mercenaries.
Oh, I'm very well aware. I kind of figured that out the moment this one, and she kind of kicks her foot back. Yeah, it kind of kicks her foot back. Yeah, I kind of figured the moment this one stabbed me and I started to feel woozy.
What did he stab you with?
A dagger that had something on it. Wasn't able to determine what it was.
Does the guy look like he still has the dagger?
I'm sorry, which guy?
The guy with the gaping chest wound.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, Daxori said you said that you weren't interested in daggers last when you were looting. So in that case, if you didn't grab them, yes, there'd still be a few daggers on his person.
Yeah, no, I didn't grab them.
Okay, and I wanted to know if Pipwick got over here to check him out either.
I don't believe Pipwick made it that far down the street. That'd be a Rigsy thing. I'd have to check on.
I didn't get that far.
Okay, I just wanted to double check before I loot something that's already been looted. But I'm just gonna... Rhea's going to step forward next to Dax and then crouch down to just check the guy over. I'm assuming he's still laying stomach first, unless she had turned him over to grab the stuff out of his coat.
My understanding is he'd been rolled over, but if he hadn't been, that's fine too.
Okay. If he's rolled over, then that's fine.
Yeah, no, she rolled him over as she was, pulling or looking for the items on him.
Okay. I'm going to try and look for both of or whatever dagger or anything that might look out of the ordinary.
Okay. At this point, nothing else looks... I'm not even going to make you roll for it because he's already been searched. There's nothing that seems out of the ordinary. He still does have a rapier that is sheathed on his hip. And he still has 3 daggers that are in 3 individual sheaths on a sort of a bandolier on his front chest. They look to be either like he could stab with them or they could throw with them. But everything else on his coin purse, you saw Daxori take it. He doesn't seem to have anything else currently in his pockets or on his person.
Unsheathing like halfway each of the blades kind of carefully, just to check if there's anything coating the blades or coating inside the sheath.
So the rapier appears normal. The first dagger appears normal. The second dagger you pull does appear to have a soft, very pale greenish looking like tint to the color of the blade, and appears a little bit shiny, and it's very quickly, like, you can tell there's some sort of viscous like material that is slightly coating the blade. And the third dagger appears that it doesn't have it. So if you roll me, let me think. Roll me a... You can either make
It's a poison.
Yes.
If I may make a suggestion, it could be medicine.
I was basically gonna give you an option here. You can either roll me a medicine check, a investigation check, or a survival check.
I will take my medicine check or survival check because it's higher and it's basically just my wisdom. So I'll do a medicine check.
Who's Talina saying that to, by the way? Is that over to the group on this side of the street?
To the people looting the corpse.
Okay. So you guys hear Talina kind of... Are you shouting it, or are you just saying it, Talina?
I mean, I'm assuming the volume in the street is pretty quiet given the time of day.
So yeah, for clarity, as soon as
I say it at a volume that I reckon is loud enough for them to hear, but not like screaming it so that
I got
the entire neighborhood hears.
Yeah. So as you're investigating this blade, before I get to the result of that, you guys hear kind of breaking the silence of this street that once you guys were done fighting got very quiet. You can hear sounds in the distance, like from other parts of the city, but where you're currently at is very quiet. And then you hear piercing through the darkness, through the twilight hours, I should say. You hear Talina basically say, "Hey, we should probably put him over here." As you hear that, you glance back down, and with an 18 on the medicine check, what you're able to determine is that this is a poisoned blade. It doesn't appear to be anything of any sort of fantastical concoction as far as poison is concerned. It seems very basic and primitive in nature. It's just designed to inhibit mobility and render someone either unconscious or incapacitated. It's not meant to kill them. It's just meant to stun them, essentially. You're not really certain beyond just, a quick test of it. But you also
lack
are able to...
of... Sorry to interrupt.
What's up?
For lack of extravagant terms, paralysis potion.
More
paralysis poison.
Potentially, it is one of the options. You're not a chemist, but like you're able to kind of deduce, okay, this is a pretty strong poison, but it's not meant to kill somebody. What you're able to also tell is that the two other blades, one of them did not have the coating on it at any point. It's a clean blade. The other appears to have small traces left over, and that's probably the one that Daxori got stabbed with. And it looks to be like this is a one and done deal. Like he coats it once, he stabs somebody with it, and he has to recoat it if he wants to use it again.
Okay. Just checking with that then.
Yep. Also, for clarity's sake, well, not for clarity's sake, this actually is a thing, but with that being the case, Hellraya, you're currently investigating something, but Kyria and... Yeah, basically just Kyria. Kyria, you notice as you stand on the street side there, is Kyria, before I get to say anything, what is Kyria doing at this moment? What is she doing?
I'm really just standing.
Just waiting, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're kind of standing there watching Talina kind of sort of respectfully collect/display, not like a trophy, but kind of just like line the bodies up and yell over to your compatriots on the other side of the street, you kind of glance the surrounding area and notice, one, it's very quiet, which is odd. Like, it's a city. Why is it so quiet? And then you start to kind of, with your passive perception, start to realize, wait a minute, this is a street. These are homes. These are businesses. And it was not middle of the night. It was not middle of the day. It was like at the time of day when people are in their homes, probably having dinner. And you start to realize that there's faces in a few windows here and there that are all looking at you guys in the street. And you notice that you suddenly realize while you guys are just kind of standing here, you're being watched and probably have been for a while. And then you also realize a lot of stuff just went down in a very short period of time in this street area right here, and none of it was quiet.
Not to interrupt the actions that would happen over there, but Rhea is basically just going to... I'm going to say take the entire bandolier of daggers.
Okay.
By slashing I'm guessing it has like a belt clasp.
Yeah, it's a bandolier, so it's a big old belt clasp
so,
in the front. You could even undo it. You don't even slash. You could literally undo it right there and pull it off of him.
She's gonna take off the bandolier, but leave all of the daggers in place, just so she can maybe check that poison more later.
Yeah. Okay. You can add 3 daggers to your inventory. I'm not using the daggers. I'm just gonna add it as a loot item for story purposes.
That's
fine. Yeah. Okay. So what's everybody else doing?
Looking at her take them daggers and feeling upset about it.
Tippy, how long does is it 24 hours that you have the undead servant?
Yes.
Jeez Louise. Okay.
I just have a zombie for 24 hours.
Yeah, and he's just standing there. He's just standing there swaying. And the good thing is you rezzed him so quickly. He doesn't look like a zombie. He literally just looks like a dude that just looks like he hasn't gotten a lot of sleep. Minus, of course, the wounds he's sustained.
He just got the white eyes.
And the white eyes,
dead,
yes. Yep.
The dead eyes.
Yep. Okay.
I'm going to just kind of start doing some, like, I don't know what to call them, little boxer bounces.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, all right, Pip, calm down. Got this. I'm just giving myself little words of affirmation.
I'm gonna actually concentrate on the female guard from the gate that we spoke to just like minutes before this combat in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna use a 3rd level spell slot to send a message
Okay.
that I just DM'd to Neon.
Okay.
Ignore the numbers, that's just me counting the
No, you're fine. Yeah.
words.
Do you say it out loud, or do you just?
It doesn't specify that I have to say it out loud. There is a verbal component, but I'm gonna like whisper it under my breath.
Okay. I
So
will.
that it doesn't. Why does it force me to roll? There is no roll associated
That's
with
so
this.
silly.
Oh, there is a 5% chance if it's too far away,
No, it's not.
or
Yeah,
if there's another plane of existence. So
Yeah,
okay,
you're
never mind.
fine.
Wait, I
I'll
canceled that and
say-
it doesn't use the spell slot?
Yeah.
Oh, it did use the spell slot.
I'll say that with your distance and saying it quietly. Hold on one second.
Yes, you do, Rigsy.
I kind of forgot
My
about that
apologies.
until you mentioned the
Yeah,
guard.
close my door.
I was like,
Wait.
if we go back and talk to them, this is gonna be real weird.
Okay,
Do
so
you? Because you don't have concentration up. It's not a concentration spell, right?
It's not a concentration spell.
You should be able to dispel it at any point, though, right?
That's only with concentration spells.
So he's just stuck looking like that for a while.
For an hour.
Well, shit.
I mean, is it a cantrip? Because if it's a cantrip, you could just cast another one that makes you look like yourself.
No, disguise
Nope,
self
it's a first
is-
level.
Yeah.
Does he know what he looks like?
Yeah. I did it intentionally.
yeah, it literally looks like a miniature version of that exact same guard who was eating the turkey leg. It's just a 4.5 foot tall version of him. Okay, so
I mean, like if he wanted to transform back into himself, like he needs to know what he looks like for it. Which means he needs to have taken a look at himself recently. We're thinking medieval. Medieval don't have a lot of mirrors.
Well, I'm not a ghost.
But there's glass in the windows. You could have seen your own reflection
well,
at some point.
no, there's mirrors around. Like you guys know what you guys look like. Like you know what yourselves generally look like. Whether it's a reflection from water or in a window or actually legitimately looking in a mirror, like you would know what you guys look like. Are you asking like, do you have to recast a spell to transform back into yourself, or to change yourself back in? Is that the question? Sorry, I had my headphones out. I had to close the door.
Well.
Oh no,
I'm just saying
personally,
he's
I
still
don't care.
Okay,
He's still disguised, so he was
Okay.
just like.
and it lasts for an
But
hour.
it's not
so
a concentration spell, so I don't know if you can just dispel it.
Yeah, you can. I understand. Let me double check that. I believe that yes, you can do that. Let me see if it says in the spell itself.
Oh, wait, no. I read that wrong.
I love how every time I read a spell description, I always read it backwards. I never start from the top up. I don't know why I do this. I don't understand why
Well,
I'm broken this way.
To be fair, the thing we're looking for is to end the spell, which is usually at the end.
Which is usually at the end. Okay, so I'm not crazy because that was my logic too. It doesn't
I
say
did it
anything
too.
about it doesn't say anything about dispelling it. I'm gonna argue that while it doesn't have a concentration element to it, based on the fact that you cast the spell to make it happen, I'd say that you could dispel it before the hour is up if you so choose, understanding that in order to reactivate it, you have to recast it.
For the sake of my character, I don't remember that I look like it,
I love that. I love that. Okay, so
and nobody has told me.
yeah, so back to the original thing. So Talina, you use the verbal component of this spell. You are far enough away from your friends that with a whisper, they're not going to hear it. Tippy is not going to hear that over the groaning of her newfound mount. Really, I'm trying to think of the right word. However, Kyria does. I will say that Kyria is able to hear that you are saying something under your breath. But I would say maybe not, unless I would say probably isn't making out exactly every word, making out some of the words, and recognizing that you are saying something, but it is obviously quite quiet. but yeah, you send out your sending spell, and great. Now I got to do this. Freaking word count.
Sorry, not sorry. Ah, they did. They did have a sage advice response to it, and apparently you can't. Unless the spell says you can, or it's a concentration spell.
Should have just told me to use sending.
Okay, and in your mind, you hear back a response, which I just sent. All right, sorry about that. So, after that, what is everybody doing? Are we all still standing around the street here?
So, Rhea was going to kind of, as she stands up from getting the bandolier, look at Scorch, look to Dax. Is Dax still staring down at the ground while looking away from the guy?
She, at this point, is staring down at the ground, but she has started walking. And as she has started walking, she kind of does a quick little whistle and snaps her fingers to get Scorch to start following.
Rhea's gonna be just behind. As, I'm assuming Dax is moving this direction.
Yes.
Okay. So if you wanted to move yourself away from the doodad, I'll basically follow as close as Rhea would be following. Basically, like, just behind.
If neither of them are bringing the dude, I will go over there to bring the dude and put him with the rest.
And the moment Talina goes to try and bring the dude over, Dax is going to whip around and yell at you to leave him the fuck alone. And that he does not deserve any type of respect. So Dax kind of just like snaps at Talina.
Not doing this for him, doing this for the children that might be in the street tonight.
And as you have that conversation, as those words leave your mouth, all of you collectively hear the sound of plate metal moving and realize it's the sound of like heavy footsteps and multiple movement. And as you kind of like look around, you notice there is a detachment of city guards coming from down the street this direction, being led by the female guard that you were interacting with at the city council gates shortly before all this. Behind her is about 10 armed city guards with their armor and pikes and swords and bow and arrows. I mean, it's like a full squad, as they all kind of, I don't have a bunch of little tokens ready, but essentially they're walking down the street, and they're not running towards you. They don't look like they're ready to start immediately fighting you, but they look like they're here on official business. They are marching towards you. And they're kind of glancing around the area at sort of the leftover scene. They notice, you notice a few of them look up to the left and see the hole in the window on the upper floor. They make it a little bit further, and they notice the several dead bodies on the cobblestone sidewalk. You notice one kind of cocks his head up kind of funky towards the direction of the hole in the ceiling on the other side of the street. And they stop basically right about here. Kind of all 10 of them, or 11 of them standing right here. One of them glances over at the undead mount that Tippy is riding, and looks very perplexed, but doesn't seem to understand what it is. Just kind of looks like, that's a strange-looking individual with a squirrel on its shoulder. The female guard steps forward and kind of glances around, trying to look, and then makes eye contact with you, Talina, and steps towards you.
I just like. I'm imagining that I was like about to grab the guy under his shoulders and like drag him like firefighter style out of the street.
I would.
But instead of
also-
leaning further down, I just turn around and like give her an awkward wave.
I would like to also point out, if Daxori did what I think that she just did, Rhea would have turned to follow this time.
Wait a minute. What did Daxori do? I was zoomed in.
I think Dax bolted.
Dax kind of bolted, and Rhea was going to.
Dax saw guards and was like, "I don't want another fight. I don't know why you're here," and bolted.
Oh, did she run?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So as soon as Daxori would start to run, you'd hear the
Never
city
run
guard.
from the cops.
You'd hear the city guards yelling, "Halt! Stop!" and they'd start chasing you. There'd
But
be,
she's-
there'd be at least
She's
several
still
that start chasing you.
bolting.
Okay.
I'm
She's
gonna
still
say-
bolting.
I'm gonna
Scorch
say that-
is still with Selena.
I was gonna say Dax probably got a head start at Rhea, but Rhea's gonna be probably not too far behind as a
Okay.
just silently running with
So.
Dax.
With that being the case, backing up a little bit from what I'd originally said, 4 of the 11 guards, not counting the female, immediately bolt after what is now Hellrhea and Daxori in full chase. Obviously, they are wearing heavier armor than you guys both are, because you guys are both wearing light armor. So you guys are a lot more nimble than they are, and they are not going to be able to keep pace with you, but they do chase. I'm not going to make any rolls happen here, because logistically it would make 0 sense that they would be able to keep up with you. The two of you bolt off.
And Dax immediately, once she's around a corner,
Mm-hmm.
goes to the nearest alley she can and
Mhm.
starts climbing.
Okay. For that, I will make you roll. I was gonna say, if you're just running, that's fine. But if you're gonna try to climb, I need an athletics or an acrobatics check for you getting up onto a roof successfully.
Yeah. And when Dax starts running, Scorch follows, kind of confused, but then immediately stops at Talina and just sits there and starts, like, basically begging for a treat.
Gotcha. Oh, I do have.
So-
Yeah, we're gonna use these. I have these aren't correct because these are knights, but it'll work.
I'm gonna make the quick like comment here of as Dax turns the corner into the alley and starts to try and climb, Rhea's entering the alley behind and is like, "Oh, come on. She's in a dress. How is she gonna climb easily?"
Okay, so they're over there. Just help me
I
make
got
this better.
I rolled an acrobatics, and I got a 19.
Wait a minute, I have too many here.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. Hang on a second.
That's 13.
No, you're okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. There we go. That's better. You got a how much? I'm sorry.
A 19.
A 19. Okay. With a 19,
All right.
you are able to scale the side of a building and get up onto the top. It's only a 1-story at this point, but you can then use that to get up onto higher rooftops. And you're able to do it without falling or making too much noise and attracting attention to the alleyway that you ducked into. Hellrhea, I assume you're trying to do the same thing?
Rhea was trying to follow the best that she can. She's not really quick with this and not used to doing it anymore, apparently.
Yeah, I would say with a 9, unfortunately. So you watch Daxori, you're able to keep eyes on her. You're catching up to her. She ducks right into an alley. By the time you get to the alley and you duck in, you see she's all with a 19. You see that she's all, like cresting the top of the roof, and you see her leg pull out of the alleyway, recognizing that she's up on the roof. And you try to do the same thing, but because you weren't like ready to do that, your foot missteps, and you instead of doing like a wall jump, you kind of like it slides across the side of this like clay building, and you can't get your footing. And you realize you don't hurt yourself and you don't do anything bad, but you realize you're not going to be able to get up there easily, and you need something to climb on, and there's nothing to climb on in this alley. It's just a brick wall on one side and a clay wall on the other. There's no way you're getting up there.
How
in
much
this alleyway.
distance did I have from the guards, and I'm still just gonna try this, unknowing if they even saw me dip in here.
You trying to like hide in the alley?
Basically, after she fumbles, she's gonna try and just kind of dip behind something.
Yeah.
Knowing that there was footsteps and clanking metal behind her.
So there is nothing in this alley. It is not wide enough to be like an alley where things are stored. It's literally just a narrow space between two buildings. So you could attempt to just kind of like press yourself against the side of the wall. And with a 10, you press yourself against the side of this wall and hoping that they don't notice you in here. And the 4 of them... oh, yeah, okay. The 4 of them... 2 of them just race right by and just keep bolting, and 2 more, the other 2 kind of are bringing up the rear, and one of them kind of stops, and he stands kind of like, you can see him, like he's lined up with the alleyway in the middle of the street. He kind of does a quick glance around and then continues to follow his 2 friends. The 4th one is a lot fatter, and he just like kind of, you hear him like lumbering behind, and he reaches the same spot, bends over, and is just clearly out of breath. He's sweating, his face is flush, he wipes a bead of sweat off his face, and as he does, he pulls his head a little bit with the wipe and looks over and is looking right down the alley, and it looks like he's looking right at you, but he's just like
What the heck was that for? Jesse!
That's the out-of-breath guard.
What did Jesse do?
Oh my god. Soundboard.
Don't worry. If you didn't hear it, it's fine.
I didn't actually. That's weird.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So he just saw right through me and then kept on running with his buddies. Is that what I'm hearing?
The first 3, yes. There is a 4th one who's basically, he's bent over in the middle of the street trying to catch his breath, face as red as a cherry, sweat beating down his face, and he's just trying to wipe sweat off, and that's when he, like, it looks like he's looking at you down the alleyway, because...
Okay.
Because there's nothing to hide behind. You are basically just pressing yourself against a wall.
So if we're at the same, 10 and 10, because I saw his roll or whatever, or 10 and 15, whatever the heck it was.
He rolled a 15. Yeah, so the other
he's
one
the one
was,
with the 15.
The other one was you beat it because
so
you
he's
rolled a
looking
10.
right at me. Does it seem apparent that he's noticed me?
All you can tell is that he's like looking like quizzically in your direction.
I mean, I've heard insight check is used for different things than I had originally intended, so I don't know. I was going to...
Let me put it this way. The other 3 ran right by, didn't notice you. This guy clearly notices something in the shadows of this alleyway. Because remember, it's dark. He's a human. You are not. He doesn't have dark vision, so he's looking at a lump in a alleyway here. But he notices something, which is why he's looking at you.
I have an idea. I'm going to crouch down and go next to the wall and silently cast Minor Illusion.
Okay,
Or
how do you...
subtly cast.
I was gonna say, I don't think you can silently
whatever
cast.
It is.
Yeah.
Whatever
Actually,
the thing is.
it does not have a verbal component. It is somatic and material. There is no verbal component to Minor Illusion.
So we'll use Minor Illusion to
Okay.
just make the sound of a startled cat running down the aisle. The
Okay,
alley as I basically crouch and kind of move down the alley.
Okay. You make that minor illusion of the sound. Oh no! Oh, don't do that. Of the sound. He sees this and just kind of goes, "Stupid catch. Forget it." And he turns around and he starts going back the direction of his original squad. I'll put you over here to make this easier. And these 3 have gone up that way. Okay. While this is happening back at the original group, the 4 have peeled off to chase after what is now Dax and Hillray, running away from this scenario. The female guard that you guys had spoken to at the city council gates watches this, kind of glances around with a very kind of furrowed brow on her face, looks very kind of confused, a little upset, and just very like police officer walking on the scene, doesn't know all the details, just sees there's dead bodies here and people are running away. and basically walks up towards Talina. We're going to say that that's the female guard, even though it's a male guard image. I don't have a token at the ready right now. Actually, let me do...
Maybe give her some form of status effect as an indicator that that's special one.
Yeah, I'm actually... Give me a second here. I'm going to see if I got something I can use. I mean, I can...
Even just one of the cover things so that it's a shield thingy. Or color.
Yeah. Let me do this. We'll do charmed. How's that? No, that's not. I want something that is something on the outside.
No, because charmed might actually apply.
Yeah. We'll do hovering. I guess. I don't know. That's her. She's hovering. She's floating. I'm kidding. She's not actually doing that. But she walks up to you, and I'm gonna admit, guys, I don't remember her accent from last time. I'm pretty sure she just had like a normal voice.
She was elven, I believe. No?
Yes, she is elven. She has the tall, pointed ears. She does have her helmet on as she did before, so you can't see a lot of hair. I mean, there's a little bit of hair coming out the back, but it's obviously very very blonde. And kind of walks up to you, glances around the area, and looks at you again. And I'm a bit confused. You called me, yet what I believe are your friends just ran away, and points right next to you at the corpse with a hole in his chest.
Well, they attacked her, not realizing they were outnumbered, and I figured to avoid, murder charges, I figured I'd report it before. And at that point, that's the moment I started glancing around the windows, going like, there's probably people.
Yeah,
and the first person I noticed, I'm just like, before people vaguely gestures at that generic window.
Yep, and
do it for us.
And you all, as everyone glances around at this point, anyone who just kind of is mimicking this, you are noticing that you guys basically have a silent audience at various points around this street. From whatever window or unshuttered window, they can see the street. There's pretty much somebody in almost everyone. There's nobody on the street at this current time, except for you guys, but there's definitely onlookers. As this is happening, Pipwick, two of the guards who are kind of now like fanning out from this little formation that they ran up in. I just realized we also have one too many guards again. As these guys kind of all fan out, two of them approach you, very confused as to your current visual appearance.
Good job, boys. We got them.
Roll me a deception check. As they just kind of glance at each other, mouths like slightly ajar and very like trying to determine who this is.
I'm so looking forward to them just seeing straight through the illusion and acting along anyway.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's that, and then it's a it's in here. It is a
investigation against spell save.
Against spell save. Yep, I was just finding that. Okay. It's just gonna be two of those. Yeah, okay. The two of them kind of glance at each other, glance at you. Aren't you a bit short for a god?
Fucking goddamn Star Wars line.
In my defense, as the words were forming in my head, I wasn't making the connection till they left my mouth, and I went, that's funny. Yep, exactly.
Pretty sure you're not legally allowed to ask me about that.
Hey, one leans over to the other. Oh, we know it? And then they're like, I don't know. I've never heard that before.
I'll contact the union if you do that ever again.
What's a union?
The people that make sure that we get paid.
The council?
Sure.
They both look at each other. It's like a Scooby-Doo moment where these two people are just so confused, and they're like, oh, all right. Wait, when did you get here? You weren't with us, was you?
No, I was on patrol, and I heard a kerfuffle going on, and so I came running down to check in, and I was able to take them all out. It looked like Yeah, well, it looked like the group that's kind of all standing around me. I don't know whether it was a mugging or whatever it was, but it looked like somebody was trying to rob them, so I took them all out.
That's very impressive. Damn freaking high.
There's actually
Deception check.
there's like 2 or 3 of them still running.
Wait, the attackers?
Yeah, one of them took off down the alley, and I like point to my right where that haystack is.
Okay.
And then another one of them took off where them 2 ladies went.
And they kind of look at each other. And say, well, we should go after him, right? We'll go after this one. And the 2 of them start running down, and they yell, Sergeant, we're going to chase one of the attackers that ran away. And like as the lady turns around from the conversation with Talina, you guys just see 2 of them run down the alley that you guys originally came through. Freaking high deception rolls, man.
+8, dude.
yeah, for real. While that's happening, Tippy, one of the guards approaches you and your undead companion, and kind of looks the 2 of you over. So, what happened here? Can you tell me what happened?
Yeah. Fighting.
And of course, this is telepathic, I assume.
Well, if not, he wouldn't understand a word.
Yeah, because I'm just clarifying because I know that you don't speak common verbally, and so he hears this and he says, that's unsettling. And he kind of looks at you. Is that? And he watches his finger move between the undead and you, and the undead and you. All right, which one's in my head?
Everybody.
Wait, say that again?
Everybody.
This is unsettling. Right, whoever I'm speaking to, can you tell me what happened? And he just looks, he's stiff. He looks visibly uncomfortable.
Death. And chaos. And more death. And explosions, apparently.
Any way you can put that into a series of events I can follow and report back to my superior?
All I know is the dead people attacked us. We attacked back. We won. They're dead. That's all I know.
That's maddeningly unhelpful. All right. And as he's like struggling through, you can tell this guy does not do investigations, and he's trying so hard to like be of help to his boss and try to ask questions and get to the bottom of this, and your lack of any clarity is just throwing him for a loop. One of the other guards goes across the street and is looking up at the hole in the roof and is just like has no clue how to handle it. It's very clear that the guards you're dealing with, while probably intimidating in large force, one-on-one, not very effective. These are guys that basically just, it's their job. They clock in, they clock out. This is not a city with a large, there's no militant level problems here. These are guards. These are not soldiers. These are basically like cops in a town that doesn't have a large crime problem. Therefore are not, the most well-trained per se, or at least are not used to having to deal with large problems on the regular. And a bunch of dead bodies in the back street of the southern part of the city. This doesn't happen. They're like trying to figure out how to deal with this. The other ones, one of them goes over and starts inspecting the corpses. Another one that watched the whole Pipwick encounter sees Grigor standing by himself and kind of wanders over to Grigor and does the same thing. He kind of approaches him and looks at him and says, "All right, sir, can you please tell me what happened here today or tonight?"
As far as I know, these people tried to attack one of our companions. Like, try to capture her or something, but beyond that, I don't really know much else.
Which companion did they try to kidnap?
Grigor turns to look down the street.
Mm-hmm.
The red tiefling that has issues with law-keeping people.
Wait, the one who ran from us was the one that was the victim?
Yes.
That is confusing. Why'd she run?
I don't know.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. Because obviously I know you're telling the truth, but he's very confused. Okay. He doesn't seem to like. It's not that he doesn't believe you. It's just it doesn't make sense to him. And he kind of scratches. He goes to scratch his head, and as you watch it, you are like, "Why is he scratching his head? He's wearing a helmet." And he starts scratching the side of his helmet like it's gonna affect change. He continues to engage kind of like this back and forth with Grigor about asking questions about this. The female kind of head of this detachment, speaking to Telena, glances over at between what is now Kyria and Telena standing next to each other. All right. Can you walk me through what happened, please? Because this is a mess. We don't deal with these sort of issues up here. Why are two of you running away? Like, let's walk me through what we know here.
Well, the first one that started bolting, and I start petting Scorch, who I assume is sitting next to me or standing next to me, who is in charge of this little cutie boy.
Pork.
Is generally skittish of unknowns, so marching of plate armor, recently been attacked. 1 and 1 is 2. Well, being with a friend is always a nice thing, so one of our group followed, I guess. Not quite sure where the other one ran, but...
And as you guys are, as this conversation is progressing, the very fat lumbering guard just trundles back in, just...
Is that the one who was eating the chicken leg?
No,
or just
this is
another
not,
one that is out of shape?
This is another one that's out of shape. Yep, not the same guy.
Okay, good.
That would have been real funny seeing Pipwick.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked.
No, not the same guy, but same physique, same sort of like is used to doing guard duty of standing around doing nothing, let alone running and chasing and such. And just like slow walks past you, just like big, massive breaths. And as she kind of looks over to him, he just kind of holds his hand up and waves, clearly having no breath for words. She kind of moves her gaze back to you two. All right, well, that part makes sense, but do you know how this all went down? I mean, we've got dead bodies all over here. We got holes in roofs. Help me out here.
Yeah, sorry about the roof. And she gives the most innocent smile she can muster. As for the others, self-defense? And she puts up her hands innocently and palms up next to her shoulders.
She
like,
squints and leans in. Did you just say that with a question mark? Was it self-defense?
Well,
are you asking or telling?
I wasn't defending me, but part of my group. So some of them defended themselves, and then they started attacking me personally. So then it became self-defense as well. But it's kind of like self-defense / defense of others. We weren't the aggressors, is what I'm saying.
Understood. Okay, that helps. Do you know who these people are? She kind of half steps towards the one with the hole in his chest right here, and kind of gives him a once over. And as she kind of glances over him, she doesn't seem to have an immediate sign of recognition, but she does kind of him and haw for a moment. And have you encountered this group before? Is this a group you have issues with?
This is just an out of character question because I just realized something. They were wearing their insignias on their torso, right? So the guy with giant hole in his chest,
No,
does he still have the insignia?
so he has an insignia on the upper like breast area of his leather armor, so it's still present. The other guys had like it was almost like a patch on like their sleeve as part of their their shirt. So everybody still has their insignias on them in one way or another. And she does seem
His
to
might be a little scarred in the corner.
yeah, and she does seem to see it. She doesn't seem to have any, at least visible recognition to it, but is still asking you if you have any recognition of it.
I mean, then I just tapped the insignia, going, well, they seem to be belonging to some form of group, but and she like
Markings suggest they're
shrugs.
slavers.
The guard looks. Oh, and with that, she now steps kind of closer. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't like the new founder rules that do this. And she kneels down and starts investigating the body a little bit closer now.
Oh, I did move the other three in case you were. Yeah, it's fine.
She kind of moved the other. I'm sorry.
The three near the crates, I moved them to be
She kind of looks over
less
and,
upsetting to the public.
and she sees one of her guards like investigating the bodies over and thank you. I'm gonna admit I don't recognize this symbol. I don't necessarily know who these individuals are, but you say, and she looks up to Curate, you say these are slavers?
The symbol you see on his clothing on the front,
Mm-hmm.
I believe these are called Iron Brand. They're not from around here. They're from the north.
I've heard of this group now that you mentioned. I've never seen this symbol, but that doesn't mean much. I don't do this all that often. But we've heard of this group before. They're a black market group from what we know. We've never had any slave issues here in this. Well, that's not true. I don't know what happens down in Riverside. I'm always stationed up here. And you, as you're having this conversation with her, you notice that her strong kind of like defensive demeanor that she had at the gate is starting to melt away, and it's coming into more of a demeanor of someone who you're witnessing someone realize they are in over their head, and you're watching those walls kind of not come down but crumble down as she's trying to like, it's like watching someone on the first day at their job and they come in with all this confidence, and then as the day goes on and they realize they don't know a lot of stuff, they're just trying to like get through the day and just try to struggle bust through tasks. And she's kind of in that same position. You're like, she's trying so hard to like understand what she's looking at, figure out what to do next, who these people are, and you realize that there's more questions than answers for her right now. You say they're from the north, like north where? As she looks up back to you, and she stands up now and straightens her tunic and adjusts her gear so it sits correctly.
It takes like a second or two for Gary to say the word, and she says it in a very like even tone.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Karen.
Oh, and immediately there's recognition on her face. Okay, that clears that up a little bit. Okay, well, since they're all deceased and can't defend themselves here, and you clearly seem to know who they are, and they're all dead. We're gonna chalk this up to, she points to Talina, to self-defense, and we're going to take care of this. Is there some way that, and she's like, okay, just like in her head, she's trying to figure out what the next thing is. Like, okay. Is there a way that if I have follow-up questions, I can, how do I get in touch with you?
Depending on the day, I could be in the Lucky Tankard or the Wizard and Wand.
Okay, and remind me your name
not
again?
in town at all. Talena?
Talena. All right. Okay. Thank you. And your name, Miss? And she looks towards you, Kyria.
Kyria Anthis. You can always reach me through a temple of the Everlight. Just ask me there.
And she kind of looks at you with half recognition for a moment. Like, haven't I seen you in the council? You've been in the council district, right? I think I've seen you.
Yes, I have. I've been working for the council lately.
Okay, I thought you looked familiar. All right, apologies, Miss Kyria. Okay, yeah, we'll take.
May.
Yes.
You said you don't know much about these people other than they're involved in black market and them being slavers from High Cairn is news to you. What do you know of them?
Personally,
Clearly, there being half a dozen of them attacking someone in nearly broad daylight is out of the ordinary.
I mean, I'll be honest, any sort of crime like this in this district is out of the ordinary. Oh. Whoops. Other way around. / then the W. To be perfectly honest with you, ma'am, crimes like this in these parts of the city are almost unheard of. We don't see violent crime in Hazel Hill or in the City Council District or University Road. This is, at most, we hear stories of this sort of stuff happening way down the hill in Riverside along the waterfront where commerce is moving in and out and people can, dip out of the city. This doesn't happen up here. That said, I personally don't know anything about this group other than what I've heard through the rumor mill of our barracks, which is, the Iron Brand is a black market group, a slaver group. I didn't know what their insignia was. I didn't know that they, well, actually, I didn't even know that they were a slaver group until right now. I just knew they dealt in black market goods, which I kind of, and she looks down, scratches her head, like, I suppose actually would be the same thing, wouldn't it? Anyways, I don't know a lot. However, I'm certain that some of our, lieutenants and captains within inside the various barracks probably have more information to go off of. We quite honestly just deal with protecting the city council from straight on, violence, which I can't even remember the last time that was even a problem. Hence, and she kind of looks over her shoulder at the guy who is still out of breath, bent over, bullets of sweat dripping off his forehead. Pipwick, this is happening probably 5 feet behind you, of this guy breathing so heavily it sounds like he's trying to inflate a hot air balloon, and just beads of sweat just plummeting onto the ground behind you. And she just glances at him and just kind of points and says, Exhibit A.
Buddy, can you lay down or something? Go lean up against a wall?
He's bent over, hands on his knees. If I lay down, I may never get back up. It's kind of like a turtle.
Well, go sit on that cart or something. Get off your feet for a minute.
He nods and he goes to he kind of lumbers over to the cart and he goes to lean on it. You hear the wood creak under him and you realize this dude's a lot heavier than he looks, and the cart visibly bows as he leans on it.
I walk away from the cart and go back. I'm going over here.
Yeah, he's leaning against it right there.
If he's visibly out of breath,
mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna. It's probably not gonna do much, but I'm just gonna whistle him a friendly tune and go, "Hey, go, have some. I don't know, bigger."
He kind of just looks around. I'm still out of breath, but I suddenly feel inspired. And he kind of glances up into the night sky for no reason whatsoever.
I just wink at the Sarge.
The sergeant kind of glances around, very confused, and then sees Pipwick in his disguise walk up. Soldier, who are you?
I salute her.
She awkwardly, and salutes you back. I guess I didn't. Have we met? You know what?
Yeah, we met, what? 35, 40 minutes ago?
She kind of cocks her head. 35.
Give or take.
Just roll me
It would have been way less, no?
Exactly, yeah, that's why. Roll me a deception check one more time.
Alrighty.
Well, I guess it depends on their shift. They would have met at the start of their shift, not when we were there.
Incredible. She kind of, Okay, doesn't matter. Would you go over and assist the guard over there with the corpses and help get them situated for transport? I will. I'll dispatch one of the others to go get a cart, but I just need to make sure that they're all deceased. There's no weapons on them. If they need medical attention, we can get that sorted as well. Just go make sure that they're ready to go.
You know what? No. That's bullshit. I ain't doing it. Send Tubster over there to do it. I ain't on corpse duty.
She stops and looks at you and stands up a little bit straighter, and suddenly that demeanor of like feeling in her over her head, it just kind of fades, and she goes, "Excuse me, I am your superior officer."
Oh, what are you gonna do? Fire me?
I hate this. She puts her hands on her hips. That is an order, soldier.
I ain't no soldier. You met me 40 minutes ago. I was with her. And I pointed to Lena.
She looks at Talina, looks back to you. Is this some kind of... What is going on here?
Look closely.
She looks again, and okay, so there we go. Sorry, she just needs to be like prompted.
And I have a hand out at
Lord.
shoulder height, and then make it go down to indicate like, hey, he's small, without saying it.
She rolled a 6. She looks at you and it's like, I don't care how tall he is. Looks, I don't care how short you are. Either obey orders or you're getting thrown in the brig.
You can't throw me in the brig. I'm a citizen.
She's like, am I the crazy one or no? What is wrong with you?
I'm running for council. I told you this 40 minutes ago.
I assume you're still in disguise, yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure
He
I
can't
didn't
voluntarily
miss
drop
something.
it.
No, I was saying he can choose to voluntarily drop it if he wants.
Oh, okay.
Like it's up to him, but it's I'm just gonna rule it that way because it doesn't say anything in the spell.
Once again, nobody has told me what I look like.
No one has said anything to you. I don't know how I'm like lost of how this is gonna be handled. She looks like side eyes Talina, looks back at you. It takes a step forward, is now standing she's an elf, so she's probably double your height. And just stands there, crosses her arms, says, "Last chance, soldier. Go do as ordered."
Last chance, Captain. I'm not a soldier.
Captain, she points to her soldier. I'm a sergeant. What do you mean?
How the hell am I supposed to know that? I don't work here.
What do you mean? Like, look at yourself. What do you mean you don't work here?
Look at myself. What do you mean? I'm a 3-foot tall goblin. How many of those do you hire in the guard?
She looks completely confused, and she's like, I need to assist. Guards, come here. And several of them show up. I'm just like, he needs help. We need to get him to an apothecary right away. He's clearly insane.
I'm not insane. I'm a 3-foot tall goblin.
And they both look at each other like, I think he's lost it. I think it's all the deaf. I think all the deaf has just gotten to him.
So, just before they go physical, I'm just going to point out he's under a disguise spell.
I'm gonna turn
That's
around and
why
go.
I said look closely.
I'm gonna go turn around and go. Listen, sweaty meat mitts. If you touch me, we're gonna have problems.
He looks at his hands. They're not sweaty. Well, actually, they are sweaty, aren't they?
I will kick you square in that cod piece, and you know I will.
He
Over
without even realizing it, he instinctually like clasps his knees closer together to like pseudo block his junk. And the sergeant looks at both of them and then looks at Talina after she said look closely, and she looks closely. We'll try again. She rolled a 6 last time, guys. She's not.
Hey, we're making progress. We've increased by 1.
Yeah.
Hold up. I pointed out the exact spell he's under. Surely that would give her advantage.
You know what? I will. Yes, that is fair. That is fair. We'll do that one.
Like,
yeah.
she knows what she's looking for.
Yes.
He also identified himself as a 3-foot goblin.
That's also
I'm
true.
get-
Yeah.
I'm getting pissed because I'm falling into the party's
God.
gaslighting ways.
Every time. It
How
got
is it-
worse every time.
She's just not listening.
No, she's not getting
No,
it. She's so confused. I will say, while she is confused, the other two heard that that he is using some sort of a spell, and the two of them look, and they kind of lean closer to each other. It's like, it is kind of odd that we would have a guard this short. I don't think he's one of us. I think something's going on. Sergeant, may I have a minute? And he leans close to her, and you hear like whispering, and she kind of stands up straight and looks down and gets right in your face, Pipwick, and she looks real close, and then suddenly you see on her face that there's recognition. She goes, "Oh, this makes so much more sense. In my defense, sir, you don't look like a goblin."
I look down at my hands, but they just look like my hands, and I'm like, I don't.
No, you look like one of us, but shorter.
Oh shit! And then I'll dispel it.
She kind of like jumps back ever so slightly as your like goblin teeth are now like right in her face. She goes, "Oh, yep, that okay."
Sorry, I forgot I did that.
And she kind of like has that face of like, she kind of thinks for a second. So we're good, right? Like we're just gonna, you know what? And she turns around and she just turns around. I'm gonna go back to catching my breath. And the other one walks off to go assist with the dead bodies. The sergeant is doing this. Okay, what's up?
Just pointing the, making sure you didn't miss the whisper.
No, I did see it. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, if you're gonna make another attempt, what you kind of realized in the first attempt was that the walls were too smooth to try to deftly jump up there without some sort of momentum. However, once the guards left and you realized that there was time to move again, you could potentially look for another way up.
I was going to, as worded, it's taking time, so I was gonna try to just take the, take the default skill check or whatever.
Well, I mean, it's
passive skill. I don't know if that works in this case that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, basically to climb up on anything, it's always either an athletics or an acrobatics. However, if you're taking the time, you could just try to find something to just climb up on the roof with. It's not like would be a check.
Basically it was while all this stuff is happening here and after the guards basically had passed that point is when all that conversation and stuff was happening.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, that's fine.
Basically at some point soon Rhea would have gotten on the roof.
Yep, that's fine. And did Daxori, once on the roof, did Daxori just bolt off running, or was she just getting up somewhere to break line of sight and wait?
She was just climbing up the roof to break line of sight, and now she's kind of just sitting there. She has her legs like hanging. She's sitting up on the trying to think of what the word's called. She's sitting up at the peak.
The roof?
And of the roof. And she has her legs kind of like just hanging on one of the side, on the slant. You get what I'm trying to describe?
Yes. You're sitting on the peak of the roof, and you're using it like a seat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That's fine. Okay. So with that, after a couple of moments go by, and you, at this point from the rooftop, see and hear the guards go in two different directions, three in one direction, following what they perceive was where you ran off to, and another one, very out of breath, just trundling back over to your party. You hear the sound of scuffling, and you kind of look over your shoulder, and you see Helrea scampering up onto the roof behind you.
Took you long enough.
Do we all see that, or just them?
No, this is.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is just.
Okay,
them
this is a ways away.
This is a ways away,
okay.
And it's dark, so unfortunately, yeah, you don't have a line of sight on this.
Okay, cool.
Rhea,
Just wanted to make sure.
Brushing off her dress. Unlike you, I wasn't dressed for this occasion.
Okay, I'll give you that one. And she goes back. And how dark is it out?
It's the twilight hours currently, so it's pretty dark at this point, but it's not pitch black midnight, and it's a semi-clear sky, so there's some ambient, soft moonlighting going on.
So with Dax just kind of sitting there, what would Helrea see? Would she just see like a silhouette with like with flames coming out of Dak's hair, or would she be able to make out?
No, she's got dark vision. She can see basically a gray-toned version of yourself. So it's
Oh, I
half
forgot you
silhouette.
have dark vision.
Yeah, you guys both have dark vision, so you guys basically see what is effectively dim light, even though it's considered darkness because it's nighttime. But
Rhea may disguise as a human. She's still a tiefling.
yeah. So the two of you can basically see each other, and can tell that it's, you know, you can see a grayscaled version of each other essentially.
You know you didn't have to bolt, right? Rhea's saying this as she's like approaching and being very careful how she's walking on this roof.
Dax kind of gives a small smile followed by a but not a slow, a low chuckle. It's just in my nature to at this point.
But the guards weren't there for us. They were there to see what happened.
I don't necessarily believe that.
Belief or not, you're the victim right now, and you're still bloodied. Rhea's going to be like next to Dax at this point and lean down, prestidigitation to clean off the blood.
Before you like, what is that something she says, or what is prestidigitation? I forget.
Prestidigitation has verbal and somatic components.
Okay.
So basically, just as she's saying that, she's then gives a bit of a whisper spell, however she needed to say it, and then is starting to cast.
What are you doing? And Dax kind of just scooches over, looking at you, not cautiously, but like curiously.
I'm cleaning you off because your clothes are filthy.
You don't need to. I'll take care of it when we get back to the Lucky Tankard.
Just trying to help.
And I appreciate it.
You'll see that she does the thing, the cleaningness to her herself.
And I appreciate that you wanted to assist. But like I said, I've been dirtier. I'll deal with it when I'm at the Lucky Tankard. And then with that, Dax kind of just moves back to how she was originally sitting, because she had kind of scooched over to look at her, looked at Rhea. So she kind of moved back, and now she's looking back out straight in front of her.
What do you know about those people? The ones that attacked you?
Crap. I can't remember, Neon. Did Dax know anything?
So Daxori Daxori, you do not know the insignia. You do not recognize the insignia that was on the chest of the individual or the other individuals. You did not you've never heard the name Iron Brand before.
Okay. I know nothing about them. I just know that they attacked, or one of them attacked me, and said us into some sort of extent. She kind of stops for a minute, like she's trying to think of the words. Something like, I'm coming back, or I'm valuable, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said. My brain's still a little fuzzy.
Given the substance that he stabbed you with, I can see that. Neon, what exactly would Rhea recall about the Iron Brand? given the background that she would have with
Sure.
them.
So what you would know of the Iron Brand is that they are sort of a at the time that you were learning about them, hearing about them, and or bumping shoulders with members of the group or people who did business with the group, you would know that this was a. Let's see. How long ago were you in your the previous
Let
city?
me grab my notebook.
I'm trying to remember how many years ago it was.
Let's see. Let's see. How old is Rhea now? She's only probably been in Darun for like a year. It would have been at least 2 years in that city.
And that was 2
2
years ago.
2 years since leaving that city.
Gotcha. You would know that the group was how do I word this? It was not a new not a new group, but a group that was new to that part of Adalia. That they were trying to that you knew they were trying to set up an operation for their group, for the Iron Brand in the city. You knew that you had heard and had kind of confirmation that this group was not a very, very, very old group, but had some years of stability under their belt, and that they were trying to branch out eastward into your previous city, and then by extension now here.
I know where do I know where they originate?
Somewhere out west.
Okay.
Yeah, from where you were at the time. You are uncertain as to exactly where, but that just happened somewhere to the west. You know that they are a diversified group, that they do not necessarily pick and choose any sort of. There's no sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? Prejudice about like certain kinds of groups are only allowed to work with them. They're basically open to anybody as long as they can make money. You understand that there's like no business they won't at least attempt as long as it's profitable for them. There's no cargo they won't move as long as it's profitable for them. They will always try to limit their exposure and their risk factor, but if the coin is good enough, they will usually take pretty much any job that comes towards them. They will move pretty much any cargo that they're asked to move. You do know that there were whispers and rumors of this group trying to get a small slave trade started in that previous city due to its geographical location. However, there was no confirmation of that ever happening, and you never knew of any solidified slave trade actually starting. It was just kind of more like there was whispers and rumors going around that was the theoretical plan, but by the time you left, it hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, by the time I left, something else was happening. Anyways. These men, those people, they aren't your typical mercenary. They're connected deeply and spreading like wildfire, it seems.
Connected in what manner? She asks while not looking at Rhea, but she also she raises like one of her eyebrows like out of curiosity.
Rhea's gonna be fidgeting kind of with the ring on her finger while staring down towards the street. You name it, they'll do it, as long as the profit's in the margin. They were getting into some nasty stuff back in, but, that's 2 years ago. I don't know if they've gotten anything set. I didn't know they were trying to move their way down here. Unless this is just a team sent to track a bounty.
Based off of the poster we found on them, or that I found on them, I would assume they're here tracking a bounty.
Oh,
that
you know
bounty
what?
being
Go on, Neon.
I was just gonna say, go ahead and finish your thought, Dexor, real quick, and then I have something.
I also found a And as she's saying it, I also found an envelope on them, and she pulls it out of her jacket. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what it says.
You mind if I take a look?
Sure. And she hands the letter over to Rhea, and as she hands it over, like before she fully releases it, she like grips it for a second before releasing it from her two fingers.
Rhea lets out a deep sigh and then opens up the letter. I'm assuming there was a wax seal on it, or
Yes, but the
one
wax-
that had been broken
Yes,
a couple times.
The wax seal is still partially affixed to one of the two sides of the paper, but like it's very clear this letter has already been read before Dax already got her hands on it. So you can just fold it open. You don't have to rip anything open.
So Rhea will kind of open that and angle it with the moonlight and her dark vision to read what's on the page.
So as you open it, it is very clearly a handwritten missive, written in decent script, but nothing fancy, that says, Lem, word has reached me that our quarry is somewhere in the river city of Daroon to the east. Our client is eager for this contract to be closed ASAP. Get yourself out there and find this one. She's not hard to spot, red skin, glowing hair, and different colored eyes. She's very, capitalized very, dangerous, so be on your guard, but we need her alive. Don't care what the posters say. And then it drops down. Keep me posted, and once you find her, we'll send reinforcements. Ravik. And the names are Lem, L-E-M, was who it was addressed to, and it was signed by Ravik, R-A-V-I-K. And at the very bottom, as you open it entirely, and the bottom flap opens, you see in a separate handwriting that's a little bit less nice, it's a little more sloppy, you see a quick little like handwritten note, and it says 8:30 tomorrow waterfront warehouse.
Firstly, as the first part of the document is read, Rhea lets out what would be a sigh of relief. And then reading on through, a look of concern on her face, and then a look of curiosity as she gets to the postscript. Well, they're definitely after you. I don't know why, but hey, you're marked as dangerous.
I know exactly why they're after me.
I think I can gather some pictures. There's notes here. It looks like it's for a meeting. And Rhea will hand the page back over to Dax, pointing out the bottom of the sheet.
Dax takes the note back and reads the bottom of the sheet. Well, it looks like we have a meeting to attend tomorrow.
With the others?
No. Maybe.
Sure.
And she takes a second before she says maybe.
You know, you don't have to do things alone.
In the back of your head, Hellraya, you hear, I don't have the voice changer, so actually, do I? Is it? No, it's not. I don't have it set up yet. In the back of your head, you hear the familiar voice entering your mind. Isn't that how she ended up in this in the first place?
Huh?
The voice.
I'm sorry. What's he referring to? Because I don't.
Because you said you don't have to do everything by yourself, and he jumped in your head and said, "Isn't that how she ended up? Isn't this how this all happened in the first place?"
Not moving her mouth, kind of closing her eyes and giving a slightly angered look on her face for a brief moment to say into the back of her head, now is not the time.
My apologies.
You know that each one of them down there ran to your aid.
And she looks at Rhea. And
You know they care about you, right?
huh.
At
Okay.
least half of them.
Well, like I said, I'll think about it. But if anything, at least I have a meeting to attend tomorrow. And with that, she folds the letter back up and puts it back in her jacket, kind of signaling that she's done talking about at least this part right now.
I would like to do a stealth check of a whisper as Dax gets up and starts walking away from the roof area.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth check on that.
Ha, it's not very stealthy.
What do you whisper?
If you don't tell them, I'll be telling them. That's as Dax is like 5, maybe 7 feet away, and Rhea is also starting to stand up to find her way off the roof.
Yeah, I'll have Dax. Sorry, I'll have you roll me a perception check on that to see if you'd hear that, because it is low enough that it wouldn't just be an auto success.
What is that?
You are correct, Tyrope. You did not miss anything icily. Which it's so funny. That's such a strange word that we've just adopted of icily. Like it's so funny to me.
I got a 10.
Okay. You do hear something being said behind you, from like under her breath, very clearly not intended for you, but she does kind of mutter something.
Do you need me to repeat it? Because she did beat it.
Yeah, she did beat it. So.
Would you like me to repeat it?
Yeah.
So you would have heard, if you don't tell them, I will tell them.
So would Dax be able to hear those words?
Yeah, you'd be able to hear words being spoken behind you. Yeah.
Okay. Dax immediately whips around. It is not your place to tell them. And you can see that she is, at this point, angry. You can tell just by her hair.
Not about anything other than the meeting.
Again, it is not your place to tell them. It is mine. It involves me.
It involves more than you know.
Y'all put yourselves in the middle of this. I didn't. I was born into the middle of this. So, y'all can walk away still. At least they can. They don't need to be involved in this if I don't want them to be. And with that, Dax immediately whips back around and jumps off the roof.
I need you to roll me a athletics check to see if you, or athletics or acrobatics to see if you are jumping off of a roof.
There. I didn't really think about that at the moment.
I know, that's why I had you roll.
15.
Oh, you're fine. Okay.
I'm gonna have Rhea carefully go down again because Little Miss, I'm in a dress and shouldn't be doing parkour.
Yeah, it's fine.
Really shouldn't be doing parkour.
So with that, you have to kind of go back the other way you came, which is away from where she jumped down. So you're not going to be able to immediately follow her, but you get off the roof. No harm, no foul. You don't have any problems. You're gracefully climbing down. You're not jumping down. As the two of you make your way down the street back in the direction of your party, excuse me. The rest of you've watched essentially as the guards have collected all of the corpses. They have them together. At this point, one of the guards has actually gone and ran off. And at this point, you actually hear the sound of clip-clopping as a single horse-drawn cart arrives to empty for them to load up the corpses with. They're at this point, all of the guards are kind of paying you no mind. The sergeant is overseeing them loading the bodies. What are you guys doing?
I'll assist with the body that I'm standing next to anyway.
If Dax and Rhea are returning to the group and are visibly within sight of the group, Rhea will be trailing behind Dax, and she had to scale down from the roof again.
Okay. There's Fatso right there. Okay. Yeah, so you guys are getting that taken care of with the guards and the bodies. At this point, they've kind of got it handled. They're just kind of doing their own thing. Talina, you assist with the one you're next to, but it's very clear that these are all rather, at least strong individuals. Maybe not the smartest individuals, but they're strong and they're able to handle it. And they get the bodies loaded up. And the sergeant kind of, arms crossed, is watching the whole scenario. Looks to you, Talina, and kind of nods with appreciation, doesn't say anything further. And it seems to be at this point they've kind of moved on mentally from seeing you guys as a concern to now we're just going to clean up the mess.
I have a question, but are they going to try and take the zombie? Since the zombie looks like the dead bodies.
Oh, that is true.
See,
he's wearing the same uniform.
Oh, that's right. You know what? Let's do it this way. Okay, so here's a question before we go any further. Would Tippy have had her and the undead move or relocate at any point, or would they have just stood there on the street watching this all go down? Would there have been any relocation happen?
We should probably go with the others.
What do you mean? Others what?
The group.
Okay. Well, at this point, the group's kind of more or less standing over here, if that's what you mean, like coming over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That would help a little bit because they're not right next to the corpses, and the guards weren't paying too close attention to the undead creature as they couldn't really tell what was going on with it. What we're gonna say for that, actually, let's do this. Okay. Activated time. What? Okay, that's weird. They seem to be focused on the actual dead bodies and don't seem to be connecting the dots that the creature that was upright was associated with them. For whatever reason, they don't seem to make the connection. But at this point, the situation seems to be under control. What do you guys want to do?
Of course, you finished talking the moment I finished my message. Oh well.
All good. She doesn't note her. She looks to be completely unfazed by it. Like there's no, she wasn't actually handling any of the corpses. She was clearly delegating that to her underlings. So her uniform is spick and span.
Fair. Then I'll do it to whoever's been working the most.
Do it to Fatso.
To Fat.
He probably needs it. His armor's sweaty.
I wouldn't be cleaning the sweaty. I'd, be cleaning the blood of whoever looks the worst, I guess.
Quick, somebody cast Enlarge on him.
Well, speaking of Enlarge, I'm actually trying to look real quick at how long that spell lasts for. Oh my goodness, that scares me.
That's next to my 5e tools button on my stream deck, sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually, I'll open my 5e tools as well because I've got my button for that. Give me a second. I think it's called Enlarge, right?
Enlarge reduce.
Yeah, there it is.
It's concentration up to 1 minute.
Oh, okay. So at this point, it long since faded. So by the time the guards arrived, he was already normal size. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So before the guards even arrived, he was already normal size. But thank you for reminding me because I forgot that he had been given a potion that made him bigger. Okay. It takes a few steps away from it. I love it. Okay. So I realized I kind of assumed something here. When Daxori got off the roof, was she headed back to the party or did she just wander off like she does?
No, she was making her way back to the party.
Okay.
Because She doesn't know the way back to the tankard.
Fair enough. And then I assume, based on that, Hellraya would do the same.
Rhea was just lingering behind.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so with that, then you guys have all kind of reconvened as a group. The guards clearly have everything under control, and they have at this point definitely like they're not worried about you. They're not looking at you. They're doing their own thing, and they're gonna. And at this point, the bodies are getting loaded up in the cart, and they're getting ready to take the cart back wherever it came from.
There's still
They
the
don't
three
even-
that kind of went running after us that I don't know where the heck they ended up.
They
but
didn't. At this
yeah.
point, all of their backs are to you guys. They have not noticed Dax and Hellraya return, and the other 3 guards have not returned either.
I don't know about all of you, but I think we reschedule our appointment for trying to get into the council district.
I agree.
Are you trying to stomp on my career aspirations right now?
Now is not the time.
After I saved your fucking life, you want to
Wait.
stomp on my career
And
aspirations?
Dax at this point is almost yelling. Now is not the time.
Summoned a dragon out of
And-
nowhere. How many people around here have seen a fucking dragon before? Probably none of them. But
Rhea
hey,
is also
I'm the
going
joke.
to be looking at
God.
Pipwick very angry, and her eyes will shift directly to her full original red eyes the entire time that she's angry looking at him. Noted, Pipwick has not seen through the disguise yet.
Correct.
So Rhea just flashed angry eyes while Dax was yelling at Pipwick.
Yeah, so for clarity's sake, Pipwick, Hellraya, who is appears to be a pale-skinned human with dark hair, and a normal human, her eyes just changed to a bright red, like a glowing red, which you've seen eyes like this before, but not on a human. Which it would, I mean, however Pipwick decides he wants to react to that, it definitely would be abnormal. Humans don't have glowing eyes traditionally.
Didn't we say there was a DC or something? If the
Yes, it would
person
be
wanted
it would be
to?
the same thing as a disguised self. So it would be your spellcasting DC, which is, oh my gosh, click right tab. It's basically an investigation against a 15. So if you want to roll an investigation,
yeah, it's
Pipwick can do
investigation
that.
against my spell DC.
Yep.
If he wants to like try and look past the stuff, that's if he wants to.
nah.
Okay, you just see angry
He's about as
eyes.
perceptive as a wall most of the time.
Got it.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun when I drop the disguise in front of him for the first time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna basically just be kind of muttering, "Summon a dragon. Nobody's ever seen a dragon before, but hey, a fucking miracle just happened. But hey, no, thank you. Just it's not the time for this." Blah blah blah. Blah.
Is everyone else standing? I see Tippy made a new friend. Don't mind me just doing awkward dialogue.
Tyrup, I sent you back a response to that question.
Yep, I saw it. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So you guys basically had what sounded like a yelling match down the street, if I heard that correctly.
I wasn't really. I wasn't really yelling.
Oh, okay.
I've just been kind of just like.
Pipwick was being Pipwick, and it was not the time to be Pipwick, and Dax yelled, and Rhea got angry eyes.
Okay.
And after a while, her eyes would shift back to the illusionary state.
Yeah, I would say that at one point during that, the sergeant would have glanced in your guys' direction at the raised voices and would have seen Daxori and Rhea return, but based on what Talina had mentioned, as well as how the story went down, kind of glances, squints, and then goes back to her business, and the bodies are loaded up, and the cart starts to clip clop clip clop clip clop clip clop down the street.
Rhea did make a comment. I see Tippy made a new friend. In more of a exhausted tone, trying to lighten the mood. Just still no response.
Tippy, no respond.
Still no response from anybody in the group. I see.
Do we have a fox?
Do we have a group?
Did Fox fall asleep?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
I think Fox may have fallen asleep.
Fox is not fully asleep.
Oh.
Fox is falling asleep.
Oh no.
I didn't think it this early.
I didn't either. It just hits, just like randomly.
Neon and I are the ones that are sick, and it's still Fox falling asleep.
Well, she's also an hour ahead.
True.
And waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Well, for the sake of brevity,
work.
do you guys linger or do you guys leave the street?
Dax would make would after Rhea says, "I see Tippy made a new friend." Dax would be like, "I would like to go. Can we go back to the tankard?"
Agreed.
I see no reason not to.
Okay. So, I assume then as a group, you guys start kind of sluggishly making your way across town towards the tankard.
Yes.
Still dealing with the wounds and the recovery after a pretty rough little fight there. Being at where you guys are, give me a second here. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. That is not the map I wanted to take you guys to.
Rhea is going to make a comment and just ask, do you all mind if we make a slight detour? I need to check some things over at my residence.
It's not the time for that.
Isn't it?
Pipwick, you really just need to be quiet right now, or else I will try and punch you again.
Truly don't care. Fucking busted my ass to help you out. You can't even say fucking thank you. Get out of here. Do whatever you fucking want.
Thank you, Pipwick. I appreciate your help.
I like tip
But-
my hat. You're welcome. That's all I wanted.
But can we please just stop with the... And she tries to find a word that maybe that he won't take as insulting. Stop with the funny business.
I have no idea what you mean by funny business.
Okay.
Did the group give an agreement or not for the detour? I just need to ask for clarification.
Well, they know
Dax-
we can check. Not knowing where you live.
Yeah, Dax would be fine with it.
Okay. There's not a lot of people who know where Rhea live.
Well, we do now.
Okay, so...
Well, she's okay letting those that she's closer with know.
Okay, so with that, you guys start making your way northeast from the south end of the Hazel Hill district to essentially the Riverside district, with a detour in the middle to stop off at Hellraia's place.
Which is basically this little spot here.
Yeah, now all of you would know this is going to be a long walk. You guys are basically traversing from bottom left to upper right, more or less, of a city. And you're doing so on foot. Now, thankfully, you're doing so at night. So you're not going to have to worry about, foot traffic. You're not going to have to worry about any sort of, hindrances to stop you getting there. However, with Grigor helping, I love that every time I start talking about traversing the city,
I
he
will
just goes,
say,
click.
I will say Rhea will kind of, since Grigor's been the one kind of leading us through Darun the entire time anyway, she's going to basically say, so this is the rough place where we need to go. Can you kind of get us there quick?
I assume directed to Grigor.
Yes, that would have been like, as they started walking, so we need to kind of get to this space just north of the Central Market, right into like the edge of Riverside.
Okay, I'll see if I can find any shortcuts as we go along.
And using Grigor's city secrets feat, which it's one of those things one of those things that people probably don't think about, but it's a great little feat.
It's just like stone cunning.
Yeah, you were able to traverse the city in half the time, and what would take several hours of walking is cut down to about 2 hours to get you from point A to point B all the way across the city. Especially considering even with the city secrets feature, which helps tremendously, you guys are still licking your wounds and not at peak travel condition. And also at night, and you also have to be aware that there is a curfew, so guards may be an issue, but it all kind of balances out in the end, and it takes you about 2 hours to get from where you're at to where you're going, basically getting to Helrea's place at about the I'd say you get there at about 10 o'clock, 10, give or take. Yes, that also is a factor as well. Like, again, it all kind of balances out in the end, because you are being aided by those with dark vision and et cetera, et cetera. But, of course he is. But yeah, at about 2-ish hours later, it's about a little after 10 o'clock at night, you arrive at Helrea. You arrive on the little street where your little apartment is. And Grigor, you notice that Helrea seems to recognize where she's at.
All right. You don't have to come up into the place if you don't want to. I would like you all to kind of keep an eye out. Please. I will be right back down. Rhea would go to enter her place. Okay. Oh my lord. What the heck was all that?
He's testing something.
Okay.
I have a similar thing, but I don't have the feature as a specific thing. So I was like, what happens if I just click Folk Hero and it doesn't do the thing?
Gotcha.
So...
It's not quite the same, but it helps as well.
Yeah. The gist of what I want to do in this place is gather any of the loose belongings, any loose papers that would have information that she has kept, any books, kind of throwing them into a small satchel of kind. And then leaving one final notice upon the door, and a few, I guess whatever her rent would have been, on the table.
Okay.
Snuffing out any of the candles, grabbing any of the clothing that she would have kept.
Okay, so you're basically moving out, essentially, is what you're doing.
She is closing down all of the kind of stuff that is in her apartment, or apartment, place of residence. Basically getting that all down, and then as soon as she closes the door, she's sliding the parchment of what she wrote into the door catch area as a notice to
gotcha.
the owner of the building.
I gotcha. Okay. So for your rent, I'd say to basically close out what you owe, you can go ahead and remove, I'd say, we'll say 1 gold to finish out what you would owe, basically, because you're moving out essentially early. So you leave that there, take your belongings, lock up, slide the letter into the doorway.
And it is not signed with her name that she's given to the party.
Gotcha.
And we're just going to leave it at that.
Sounds good. And yeah, you leave, there's no problem. There's no issue. There's no suspicious individuals. And for the rest of you, go ahead.
She is just being very cautious and glancing around and trying to check if anything has been disturbed or looked through or any of that sort while she is getting this all prepped together.
No, currently as of now, nothing. Seems to be all quiet on the home front. For everybody else that's outside, same thing. It's a quiet evening. You can hear the sound of the wind kind of gently blowing across the rooftops above you. You hear the distant sound of someone saying something somewhere, something moving. You hear a distant cat meow. Just traditional city ambient sound. It's very quiet, in kind of a relaxing way. While many of you have been through this before in various situations, and there is an element of concern, it is not. This night, for some reason, is a little bit more like you're feeling a little bit more relaxed after what just happened than you normally would be.
Everybody's relaxed. Rhea's in a panic anyway.
Well, and if you look in Discord, everybody's like, he said the word!
I'm just putting up flyers.
Oh, putting up
What
some more?
word?
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
What
hold on.
word?
I need to mark it. I gotta mark it. The keyword. It's the Q word.
Oh.
Come on, you're RP cop.
Yes, I know. So Rhea would then be coming out of the building with that bag over her shoulders, and basically just be returning to the group. Thank you. I've been meaning to move from there for a while.
If you're moving, can I have it? I'm homeless.
You'll have to talk to the landlady.
Oh, I thought you owned it. Never mind. I'm not into rental property. It's a depreciating asset. I'd rather invest.
Oh my
For
gosh.
as dumb as this character is, he's wickedly street smart. It's kind of amazing.
I gotta ask, what's his wisdom score?
10.
It feels like it should be a 20.
That would be hilarious,
Well-
like his wisdom score just being way higher, but his intelligence score being super low.
He just has been like going around to so many different places. He just hears shit, and then he
Fair.
basically, the way that I put it is, I'm always just like regurgitating crap that I've heard
Oh,
other
so
people say.
You're the person that overhears a really intelligent conversation happening next to you, picks up pieces
Yeah,
of it,
and I
then
think if I
repeats
say it, it'll make me sound smart.
and then repeats it, and somebody goes, "Oh, that's really interesting," and like presses you on it, and you're like, "Oh no, that's all the bullets I had in the gun. I'm out. Like I got no
Yup.
response." Okay, gotcha.
Yup.
Amazing.
So, with that, Rhea is officially moved out of her residence and will probably just be doing room and work at Tankard.
Sounds good.
Once she gets there.
She leaves. Oh, go ahead.
While we're up there,
Mm-hmm.
given that we have a moment in a private area and I
Yes.
have charges on the lyre,
Okay.
Selena would offer some resistance training to the trans students, to whomever wants it.
Okay.
I'm assuming the space is big enough that those who don't want it could be out of range.
Well, you guys didn't go up to the room. She was in and out pretty quickly, so you would be doing this in the street.
Well, I would be offering it on the way there, so we would do it within the private space. Because I don't want to do it in the streets in case I trigger it to innocent bystanders.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can do it.
Rhea,
Oh, go ahead.
when we arrived, Rhea did offer, you don't have to come up, but if you do, so be it. Also, Fox had to
Yes.
dip.
Yep. I was just saying. Yeah. It sounds good.
But yeah, the option was open, so if we want to slip back, I can rework what Rhea had done up there. But
That's-
otherwise,
yeah, it's up to you guys if however you would want to handle that.
I was multitasking during that part, so I didn't quite get everything correctly.
That's okay. Basically, if you wanted to, if you guys would have followed Hellrhea up to her apartment while she was basically moving out, the option is there, and it would have been a semi-private space. The other option is that she had asked you guys to kind of keep an eye out on the outside of the apartment building while she essentially moved out, and that would be basically on the street at night.
Well, she'd help for sure. So
Okay.
she'd be upstairs regardless.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's up to you guys. I would say that you guys would probably stick together, but that's just my DM 2 cents. But
Dax would do her usual, because she's still also kind of upset with Rhea. She would do her usual, kind of just leaning against the wall and She'll take lookout, I guess.
Okay, so some of you go up, some of you stay down.
I'm bopping around putting flyers up, so
love it.
I will not be in there.
Okay, so that's Daxori, that's Pipwick outside. Scorch probably would stay with Dax outside.
Yeah.
Tippy and
He's
the
laying
undead-
down at my feet.
Tippy and the undead creature would definitely be staying in the shadows of a nearby alley so as not to spook anyone who would notice the zombie.
Does anybody have a copy of the Adalia map? So I might have the cities available.
I'll repost it in the party chat
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
it's no longer pinned.
No, it's not. Let me
Because it got updated.
Yes, it did. Let me put the new one in there. I gotta navigate through all of
Because
Oh,
I'm
it's in our
actually-
journal. It's in our journal. We can just look
Is
at it
it?
there.
that might be the old one. Let me double check. Hang on. No, that's the new one. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep. And that one you should be able to zoom in on
I
and
will
everything,
go ahead and actually write out the note that she has left for the landlady.
Okay.
I wish that I could. Can I
Is this not
zoom in even more?
Hang on, I'm checking.
I just popped it out to see if it would work better.
I thought it would, but I guess it won't. So let me. Oh, geez. Oh my gosh, it's breaking. Stop. Stop.
That is a very
It's
big.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably having it in Discord's better.
Yeah,
I forgot
Discord's
about
gonna be
that.
better for zooming in.
I'm putting the new one in there right now.
Thank you.
I'll do the 4K version so I don't break everyone's machine with my 16K version.
How do you? What the heck is 60?
16K is beautiful. You can zoom all the way freaking in. It's amazing.
It's nice because then you
can you
crop.
post the 16K one too?
I might be able to. Hang on. Let me see.
Something tells
Discord
me
will
Shadow
compress
can
it
do...
to shit.
Maybe I've opened it in Discord. No, it'll post because we have 100 megabytes, 75 megabytes, so it'll post the whole thing.
I was about to say I should be able to see it.
There's the 16K version right there. You guys want to zoom all the way in?
I'm able to.
Oh,
zoom
it's a download, right?
Yeah, because it's too big.
Yeah.
It's too big to preview. So.
Yeah.
But the 4K version should give you what you need. Like the 4K version should not be a problem. And pin message. Boop. There you go.
Aw, you don't have city, village, and stuff included on this one yet.
What do you mean? Oh, whoops.
There's the map
That's the wrong
legend,
one.
but
I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. I forgot I had multiple versions. Please hold. The 16K version should have everything, but let me.
Hodling.
That's annoying.
You can't add a new.
Sorry
image
to
an
derail.
existing message, by the way.
We'll say that again.
You can't re-add an embed to an edited image, so you have to repin it as well.
Yes, correct. There we go.
Which is silly.
There's the right one. Yeah, this is why I like Incarnate, is you're able to export at all sorts of resolutions, but you can go up to literally 16K. The funny thing is when I exported at 16K, I had to do it like 3 different times because it was so big it kept breaking. Okay, there we go. That's what you need. Okay, with that, you guys all leave Hellraya's apartment. She is effectively moved out at this point. Grabbed everything that she needs. You guys enter back onto the street. At this point, it's probably getting close to 11 o'clock at night.
Do we do the resistance training? Did
So
anybody
when you went
volunteer for it?
when you went up to the apartment, it would have been you. Excuse me. It would not have been Pipwick. It would not have been Daxori. It would not have been Tippy or the undead creature. It probably would not have been Scorch. So the potential would be Kyria and Grigor if they chose to follow.
Grigor would have stayed outside.
Okay.
Same.
Okay, so at that point, it would. So basically, Rhea and Talina would have been the only two to go up there. So there would have been nobody to do resistance training this time.
Oh, because Rhea isn't already trained, is she?
No.
Rhea has the
Finish.
partial resistance
Right.
to it
But she would have
because
been,
of her she had her partial trick of like make a little sound in her ear.
Yep, but she would have been very focused on gathering her belongings, checking her apartment, getting everything situated. So I would say probably, I mean, you could play it, but she would just fall victim to the spell because she's not able to focus on, because she's not resistant of it yet. She wouldn't be able to focus on that. It's like training, right? You have to be able to focus on it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And she wasn't even like resistance training. She was just, I'm gonna use my little trick.
Exactly. So, with that, then you guys do leave and make it back out on the street a little before 11. And I assume continue your way up north to the Tankard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. By the time you get back to the Tankard, it's coming on midnight. It's late. You guys have had a long day. You guys got your bells rung pretty good during that fight. But you have no issues getting the rest of the way to the Tankard. By the time you get there, you can hear the sound of music coming from inside the tavern. You can hear the sound of voices inside the tavern. You don't hear singing. You just hear instruments being played, and you recognize Talina as soon as you see this. You go, wait a minute. I hear music. You see that there's a group of eclectic gentlemen, a human, two humans, a dwarf, and what appears to be either elf or half-elf, that have all just kind of like they're basically having a little jam session. They're playing a mixture of various instruments. One of them's playing the spoons, which none of you have seen before, except maybe Pipwick. And they're just making music, and they appear to be rather intoxicated. And by very quick visual appearance, they look to be some sailors that are just enjoying an evening off of whatever they're doing, and are just playing some jovial music within the tavern.
Do I know the tune?
That's a great question. It doesn't appear to be a tune or a song that you're familiar with. It's just a peppy tune that they seem to have just kind of like jammed together, like they've just kind of made. It doesn't like, there's pieces of it, you're like, oh, that sounds like this song, or this sounds like this song, but it doesn't sound like any song that you know, because it really isn't a known song. It's just a piece of music they've just come up with.
Neato. I'll approach them with my lyre like on my arm, not playing, just having visibly out, and like trying to make eye contact with whoever appears to be leading the jam, because there's always somebody that either has the main beat going, or and I'm like trying to make eye contact and seeing if they'll be receptive to me joining, or give me like this is our kind of jam.
You don't even have to like do anything. By the time you get close to them, all of them, you clearly tell are drunk. They just kind of like look and smile at you, and they just get that like join in look. They don't say anything. They're just like smiling and laughing and playing music. And it's like, oh, cool, someone else to play music with. And they're just kind of like looking at you expectantly, like, are you going to start playing?
Bet we jamming.
Yeah, and immediate jamming. While this is happening, I was trying to find if I had music, but I guess I don't have the vibe, which I thought I did. I can try. Let's see.
Rip.
Nope, that's not the vibe. That is not the vibe. I thought I had
We went
one.
from slightly ominous to way too ominous.
Yeah, right? It's like, we're playing a jam session, suddenly hell itself opens up, and I can't find the thing.
Why did the didgeridoo start playing?
Right? Yeah. I was trying to find like tavern music. I had it in here and I can't. Oh, there it is, right there. There you go.
There we go.
Close enough.
Not to have it missed, but
Yes.
yeah. As soon as they
yes.
got there, Rhea was basically going to Durham.
Yep. And you walk over to Durham. He's very clearly busy. He is quickly moving about the backside of the bar, trying to get drinks moved around. But he does see you, and he recognizes that you need him. And after a couple of minutes where he's like, hang on a second, he does his thing and comes back.
Good to see you again, lassie. What can I do for you this evening? You something to drink?
I'm going to need a place to stay.
All right, then, not a problem. You want the same suite, or you want your own place?
I was hoping for my own,
Oh, of course. All right.
and also as a work-in residence.
Work. What does
Since
that mean?
since I'm working here as wait staff, I was hoping that would be a reason for keeping a room.
Oh, I understand what you mean. Sorry, it took me a moment. I had to think about that. So you want to trade work for board, essentially?
Essentially.
I believe we can negotiate that. That shouldn't be a problem. I'll tell you what, I can't deal with that right now, but clearly you need a place to stay. So if you want to head up, and he reaches, he turns around to the wall of keys. There's only a couple of them left. He grabs one, excuse me, off the wall, turns around and hands it. Says, for now, it's on the house. We'll discuss it in the morning, and we'll come to terms. Does that sound all right?
Sounds good, Turnham. And I'll be back out to help you with some of these.
That'll be much appreciated. I'm a little understaffed tonight, and we had several ships come in that are here for 3 days, so I've got, as you can see, a full house. With that, and you see that there's people that are like waving at him with empty tankers. I've got to get back to work. And he just turns and moves down to the end of the bar and starts serving drinks.
I'll be with you shortly. As she takes her baggage and goes back towards the room that matches the key.
Yep, sounds good. And it's room number 3. It's just a standard room. It's nothing special.
She's gonna drop off her belongings, lock up the room, keep the key on her, and go out and basically, to keep her mind off of things, while also being as cautionary and alert as possible, serve drinks.
Okay, sounds good. So you basically start working. As everybody, so we have Talina's jamming with one of the groups. Hellray is getting back to work. What is everybody else doing as you guys rejoin the tankard at about midnight? Even though it's midnight, it's still like a very busy house.
Pipwick jamming.
Pipwick's jamming too. Perfect timing with the music change. There we go. Pipwick comes in with his basically a harpsichord and just starts jamming too. And they're super excited to have like basically a full band at this point. Durnan brings over a platter of fresh drinks for everybody, including several for Talina and Pipwick if they so choose.
I'll when he comes over, I'll just stop playing for a second and be like, "Hey, real quick," and I'm gonna reach in my bag and pull out a couple of my flyers and be like, "If you want to hang these up around the establishment, feel free. They're yours."
He kind of looks over and grabs them, and you notice for a second he has this inquisitive look as he's reading it with a furrowed brow. And then as he gets to like, you can tell he's a slow reader. He gets to the references of like representation for little people essentially. His eyebrows start to climb a bit, and a smile starts to crest his face, and he goes, "I'll hang these up." And he turns around and he takes them with him. But then over time you see him throughout the course of the evening, you see him placing them in various spots around the tankard.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you're lucky he's a dwarf, so it works.
I'm tagging this whole city, baby. Let's go.
Doop. Okay.
I would also mark Hellray is going to pay for a drink and grab some of the scrap meats from any of the foodstuffs. And would drop the drink and scraps over with Dax and Scorch. Whatever drink Dax usually has gotten is what she has paid for and brought. But
okay.
all that she does, so she has her normal like customer servicey smile and is really fighting to keep that on her face. And as soon as she comes over, she just drops it for a second, gives a actual concerned kind of comforty type look towards the two of them. Mm-hmm. Gives Scorch a scritch on the ear, and then continues on to her work.
Okay. Sounds good. What is Dexori? What is Dexori up
to? So upon smelling the scraps of meat, Scorch immediately just. Did you drop it on the ground for Scorch?
Basically, she held it out for Scorch to grab, and as soon as Scorch grabbed it, she scritched behind their ear and.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Scorch is going to once he grabs the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Since he's kind of gotten comfortable with the tankard, he goes over by the stage, lays down, and just starts eating it.
Nice.
As for Dax, she takes the tankard.
I don't remember what Dax drank, so.
Oh, she drinks the hardest stuff that Durham had.
Stuff. Yeah. So, whatever that was charged, Rhea's gonna be paying for it out of pocket for just that one drink.
So, actually, when you go to get the hard stuff, you notice behind the oh my gosh, the bar. Can't think of the word. Behind the bar, there is several new jars a something that you've not seen before. It does not match the traditional it's not the sea wine, it's not the apple, the hill cider, it's not just a standard ale, it's something else. They are a clay jar, they're not see-through or anything like that, and they have an embossed gold, like an embossed etching of an X on the side of it.
So as Ray is preparing some of the drinks she's going to be going to deliver out to persons at tables and other seating areas, if Durham is up behind the bar, she will be asking, "Did we get some new product in?"
You just see this smirk cross his face.
Aye, lass, we did. You should try a little bit. You and your friend should try a little bit. Just, he kind of looks around. Just keep it on the down low, all right? Don't let the guards see you drink that.
I got you. Rhea's gonna take one of. I'm assuming they look all the same.
Yeah, there's 3 clay large. These are big jugs, basically. So if you went to lift one that's kind of heavy, you'd have to pour it into either tank or something smaller.
Is there a cork stop or
big
a spigot of some kind?
Big old cork on the top of it, yeah.
Okay, is there a spigot connected to them or no?
Currently, no, they're clay. They're not wood.
Okay, so would Rhea even be able to lift this?
Yeah, she could, but you're not going to just pick it up and put it on a platter and carry it across the room.
Yeah, no, she is going to be pouring drinks, and then that would be what she has carried out.
Yep, all right. So as you pour it out, it is a crystal clear, looks almost like water, liquid coming out of it, that has a very pleasant but pungent, strong alcohol smell coming off of it. It doesn't smell, it's not like smelling paint thinner. It smells like a very nice liquor of some kind. You've never smelled something like this before. It has kind of a mixture of a sweet mixed with sort of an earthy smell. But it smells good, but it smells strong.
Awesome. So, we're gonna rewind just a little bit. This is actually, I'm assuming this is the drink that you would be wanting me to bring out to the group.
That's the one that Durham suggested you have your friends try. Okay.
So that would have been the one Rhea then brings out to the group, poured into... I'm gonna guess each one gets, like, a small amount.
Okay.
There. Since it is kind of a new thing and it's supposed to be hushy-hush, so it's like, grab the smaller tankards.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so as she brings it out to you guys, she sets down a platter, and all of you guys see rather like small little tankards, like not like a full pint, but like a smaller one, with a modest amount of this liquid inside of it. And as she sets it down, all of you now smell the same smell, and can tell that this is you've never seen this before. None of you smelled this before. And it is a mixture of, like I said, a sweet, earthy smell, but also very strong. Like, all of you immediately tell this is a super strong drink she's just set down.
I believe we all could use one of these after our day, if anyone partakes in drink.
Without even hesitation, I just shoot that thing.
I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
I can do that for you.
I'm just gonna keep jamming.
I'm assuming Telena's been up on stage or something.
And you
No, I'm with the group that is jamming.
Oh, okay.
You said that you drank shot the whole thing.
Hell yeah.
With a 12,
buddy.
Okay, so first, basically, for above the table discussion, this is the greatest, smoothest vodka you've ever had in your life. It is a slightly sweet vodka, essentially, but it is essentially a vodka. It's made from some sort of a root base, but it is crystal clear. It does not have a burn to it. Like, it is amazing quality liquor. However, shooting the whole thing, even though you're a goblin and drinking is part of your culture, it hits you pretty hard. You did roll a 12, so you're not drunk. You're not like passed out drunk, but you are. It hits you fast. It hits you hard, and you're getting to the point of like, ooh, okay, walking's going to be a challenge here pretty quick after a couple of moments. This stuff is strong AF.
Dax also just shoots it straight.
I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Is Pipwick still in tune?
Oh yeah, no, I can play. I can play.
I'm gonna say because hold on, what's your
Considering I have expertise in performance, I would say
I wanna
yeah.
say your passive performance was. Oh, yeah, he didn't even break stride. I mean, one hand's playing his harpsichord, the other hand is guzzling this thing down. He goes right back and he just picks it right back up and is just going. What did we get for...
Oh yeah, my 21 passive performance.
Your passive performance is out of this freaking world. What did Daxori get on the Constitution saving throw?
21.
Oh geez, yeah, you're fine. Same thing. You just boom, and you being from an area of hot things, this doesn't even phase you. And it warms you, but like in a really good way, and it puts a smile on your face instantly. And you've never tasted this before, but this is like, ooh, this is good. Grigor, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw as well, please.
So I did say I brought small tankards for everybody, right?
Oh, I heard you.
So, can I rephrase something?
Okay.
Since Rhea is going to be still on the clock and working. She brought an actual like shot glass that she was going to take with the group as a sort of cheer.
Yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead and make me one as well. Grigor, you're fine. Again, same thing. Very, very strong, but goes down smooth, tastes amazing, and you immediately start to feel buzzed, but you're not drunk by any stretch of the imagination.
Shot glass.
Same exact thing for you. Like one-on-one. You guys are fine, but it's like, ooh, this is really strong, but man, this is smooth and this is good. And Durham kind of sees you guys from a distance, and he's just smiling, watching you guys all do this.
All right. Well, everybody enjoy your fire. I'm gonna keep working with everybody else.
I don't know if Tippy would do that. I'll say for argument's sake that she won't currently, and then next session we'll ask if she would have.
So I will just say, however many party members, I'm gonna 6 party members. There was 6 of those small tankards brought out.
Okay.
And then the small shot glass.
Sounds good.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I could just take
them are
this.
still full.
I was gonna say, would Kyria even? I was just about to ask if she would try anything.
Just a sip of whatever
Okay.
special thing it is she brought. Yeah.
With just a sip, I'm not gonna make you roll a Constitution saving throw for that, but you do taste it. I will ask: does Kyria normally consume alcohol? Is she used to the effects of alcohol, or does she pretty much stay away from it?
Rare occasion.
Rare occasion. Okay. I'll say then it catches you off guard. It does burn a little bit more for you just because you're not used to drinking alcoholic beverages. But even with that initial kind of smack of the burn of alcohol, it goes away very quickly, and it's just a nice, very warm sensation. Just follows you down your esophagus, your whatever it is. I can't think of words right now. Into your stomach, and it just warms you from the inside out. Tastes really good, surprisingly. Like, you're not really a big alcohol drinker, but it tastes amazing. It doesn't get you. It doesn't get you like buzzed or anything right away because it's just a little sip.
Okay.
Yeah. After a couple of moments, Durham does walk over, and he has a tray that he's holding with one hand that's just full of a bunch of different empty dishware and cups and things like that he's been clearing off of various tables. Kind of leans in. Says, "So, my friends, what did you think of the new drink that I've got?"
I want more, please.
Coming right up. That is
and Dax, upon saying that, stands up. I'll meet you at the bar for it.
I will note that unless Tippy and Kyria drank their whole drink, there is still 2 tankards of them on the table.
That's true. Yeah.
Dax will take Tippy's and drink it.
I need you to make
one gulp.
Need another con saving throw. Thank you. That's what I thought, Tyrope. I said it, and then I was like, wait a minute. I have that backwards.
Also, yes, Rhea's action that she is performing while she is still working after just having the one shot.
Action that she's performing. Did I?
What I just did the /me in chat.
Oh, Oh. Okay, gotcha.
Basically, Hellrhea be paranoid as heck.
Oh, I
right
see what you
now.
mean. Okay, so you're literally like facial scanning everybody. I gotcha.
She is the most perceptive that she has probably been in months, if not a year.
Okay. In that case, go ahead and make me a perception check because you are actively on the move while doing this, and you're not stopping to literally like investigate people top to bottom. An 18. Okay. All right. Before I say that, we'll get back over to this. Did you make that con saving throw, Dax?
Yes.
What'd you get?
I got a 19.
You are fine. Another one down the hatch. This one piles on top of the other one, and you're starting to feel pretty buzzed. You're starting to feel like, okay, I've only 2 in, and I'm already nearing like my hard cutoff limit before I'm going to be in trouble. But it's still really good. In fact, it tastes a lot better now.
Yeah, and once she drinks that, she gets up and goes to the bar to wait for Durham.
Okay. Grigor, if you're taking finishing off the rest of the drink, you can make me a con saving throw as well. Durham does leave and head back to the bar to where he starts, putting down empty things and drinks and, empty cups and dishware. Oh, yeah, you're fine, Grigor. Yep, you finish it off, no problem. Dirty 20, nice. Hellrhea, you kind of scan and see Daxor get up and walk to the bar, and Durham is bringing his stuff back to the bar. And what you notice is that it is a very busy night at the Tankard, but the vibes are high. The vibes are good. And it feels like for the first time in a while, it's like, wow, this is kind of like a semi-normal environment. And you almost feel like you kind of miss this, where it's like busy, but good busy. And like it doesn't feel like there's any threat of danger. It feels like, oh, we're just working, and I see people that I actually, get along with that are, hanging out and having fun tonight, and it's okay.
You say no threat of danger, but
you're still scanning.
Witnessing all that, she still has in the back of her mind,
yep,
this is not safe.
You're not letting yourself get lulled into a false sense of security. Absolutely.
I did hear Durham say that there was multiple ships that had docked up.
Correct.
Or come in.
Yes.
As she's weaving in and out and going behind the bar and bumping next to Durham every once in a while. So, some ships docked up? Anything special?
I'm not sure. I didn't ask too much. I know one of them is a cargo ship coming from the ocean heading up to Lithuanian Lake. I know another one is using the river's passage to Adalco to cross over into the eastern seaboard. Another one has come down from the lake. I don't know what cargo or anything like that. Not many of their crew have been in, only a few, and they left earlier. But I don't know. Maybe they'll come in. Not sure. Why do you ask?
Just curious. Might have some friends on board. Any notable markings for them? Like companies, sigils, or anything?
Oh, gotcha. No, none of the folks that come in here. They're all the deckhands and crew like that. They don't really wear insignias or uniforms. They're just sort of, wearing their garb. But should I keep an eye out for something for you? I don't mind. Then again, also to clarify, I've been so busy I haven't really been paying too close an attention. I've only been trying to make sure the coin comes off the counter and into my pocket.
Ugh, that's understandable. How about once things simmer down, I'll meet with you again and we'll talk.
All right, not a problem. You and your friends enjoy that void liquor, all right?
And he turns.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. With the 18, this will be basically your overall perception for the room as you're moving through it. You moving about the room, scan various individuals, and just as Durham said, no one seems to be wearing any sort of uniform, or at least not a lot of people. You do notice a few individuals that have nicer garb than others, and some that are more like lower dressed than others, and it's very much an eclectic mix. But almost every single one of them is clearly a sailor of some level.
Okay.
You see some that look to be on merchant ships, some to be on some sort of transport ships, based on just kind of like your time working around the waterfront, being able to determine like certain levels of garb. And you don't necessarily notice anyone that like strikes you as he's a problem. you're completing your rounds of your latest batch of orders, and you're on the last tankard, and you set it down on a table, and as you look up, excuse me, you happen to catch, with an 18, you do catch the partial embossing of an insignia on a shoulder pauldron of an individual who looks to be probably a guard for one of these ships, like some sort of security or something. And he looks very tired. He looks like he has been up for a long period of time and is probably nearing sleep. And with an 18 with the insignia that you're able to catch, it looks like it could be the same insignia from what you noticed a couple hours previous, but you're not able to get a good enough look at it to confirm 100%.
Okay, as I see the partial insignia, I want to get a good look at this person. I want to basically, as best as I can, photographically memorize who he is and what the heck he is doing.
Sure. With the perception check, and the fact that you're trying to do this whilst moving, I'm gonna roll that into the perception check because you're trying to perceive him. Like mid-task, mid-movement. He is a human. You're able to quickly gather that. He has darker skin, like olive, like dark olive complexion. He or maybe tan. He has sandy brown and like really dirty blonde hair, which kind of feels odd for his skin tone. It doesn't feel like it matches. He has dull green eyes, almost gray, and his clothes are clean but kind of dusty. And he doesn't appear to be heavily armed. He does seem to have some sort of a bladed weapon sheathed to his hip, which is not uncommon, and has leather gauntlets around his wrists, which is also not super uncommon for people who are various trades and working. And looks to be, if you a quick glance with an 18, you're able to basically glean he's probably in his upper 20s, maybe lower 30s. And has kind of a 5 o'clock shadow going on.
Time to lean into what she used to do for work. And that be blackmailing and info gathering and all that fun stuff. Okay.
Well, real quick, before we do that, I saw a hand raised. Tie rope, yes.
Yes.
Well, between the members of the quote-unquote band, I want to try to get the attention of the one who seems to be able to carry his liquor the least.
Okay.
And offer him the tankard that was offered her.
Oh, okay. That is really smart. So of the several that are there...
Just to see how he'll handle it.
Of those that are there, there's basically, so I had said before that there was a half-elf and 2 humans. The one of the 2 humans, one of them is a little bit lankier than the other. He seems to be not a lot of meat on his bones. Clearly younger. You're not certain by how much or exactly how old he is, but he's probably kind of on the lower 20s scale, maybe upper teens. You're not sure. He's younger. Looks like he's kind of striking it on his own, and he is already pretty buzzed. You can tell his cheeks are slightly red. He's got a big smile that never leaves his face. He's a little bit wobbly as he plays his he's playing like a hand drum, like the kind you kind of hold like under your kind of think drum from Sea of Thieves.
Bongo?
No, not really a bongo. It's a drum. It has a skin, like it's a can't think of the name of it. It's not a bongo. It's bigger than that, but it's like a hand drum basically.
That's basically what. Yeah, that is what it is.
Yeah, he's playing one of those, and he seems to be keeping with the beat of the music and keeping with the tone of the music. It doesn't seem like he's just going off in left field, but it's very clear that he's either can't hold his liquor or is already several drinks in, and it doesn't matter.
That tankard gets gently slid towards him.
And he just kind of leans over and just doesn't even say anything. Like, hey! He just like leans over and grabs it, and without even thinking, I mean, and it's a small tankard, so it's not a big one, but he just doesn't even think, grabs it and necks the whole thing. And let's see.
Oh, I love innocent pranks. Quote unquote innocent.
Why was I rolling it as Pipwick? That's weird.
That's fine.
Yeah, and he necks the whole thing, And have you guys seen Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow starts drinking the bottle of rum on the beach and he just keeps drinking and drinking and drinking to the point where he falls on his back? He never actually comes back up. Basically the same thing. He necks this thing, and as he's guzzling down what little liquor's in there, he just head straight up, tankard in his mouth, just falls straight back onto the ground behind him. And the music doesn't stop. The rest of the guys just laugh hysterically as they continue the music. The only change, now there's no drum. There's no bass beat line going on.
I'm happy. That is all.
I just start stomping my feet to replace the drum.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And yeah, and just as quickly as the drum was gone, the drum is back, and no one's skipping a beat, and no one even like acknowledges this kind of young kid that's passed out drunk on the floor with a drum in his hand and a tankard in the other, and is just now snoozing away.
Nice.
All the fun comedy in the background, and I'm about to do more serious stuff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's the thing. It's a tavern, right? Like you have such a hodgepodge mix of things going on in the same space.
So
I mean, I needed to make some light mood before you went back into the serious
There you
stuff.
go, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, as you were.
Yes. So Rhea, getting right next to this guy as she puts his drink in front of him. You're looking a bit sleepy there.
He kind of like shakily like lifts his chin, and you can tell he looks exhausted. Like he probably hasn't had that much to drink. He does look like there is an empty plate that's sitting next to him that clearly indicates he's eaten, but he's kind of like nods his head. It's been a long day. I'm ready to go home or sleep or something. And I will say this, so before you even ask the question, like as the words are forming in your head, you hear his accent, and the accent catches you off because it's usually indicative of a dwarven accent, which would typically indicate the northern like part of the continent, like near the Strayhorn Mountains. And so that immediate, he's clearly a human with darker complexion skin, but he has more of a dwarvish accent, kind of throws you off a little bit. And then would you say, where's home?
So where's home?
North. I haven't been home in forever. It's been.
And as he says it, his eyes start to kind of close, and he starts to kind of lean forward a little bit as he's literally like, you can tell he's starting to pass out.
Hold on, friend. Perhaps I can get you a room.
No need. My company's got lodgings for us. Just.
He kind of like straightens himself up, kind of slaps his face.
Just down the harbor, the wharf here to the west. In fact, actually, what is my what's my tab? I'll pay that, and I'll head off to get some sleep.
And he kind of like pushes himself up and stands up from the table.
Let me go get that for you.
I appreciate that. And he like gathers up his mess that he's created of like his plate and his fork and the tankard, and kind of neatly puts them in the middle, like trying to be a good patron essentially, and kind of gathers it up, and starts like patting himself, like trying to find his coin purse, and like trying to find it on himself as he's kind of still out of it.
So Rhea moves up to the counter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming Durham is there at this point. One more time.
Ever since you've been helping him out, he's been able to stick behind the bar and like fill orders, and then you're delivering those orders. So it's helped him out to keep basically behind the bar the whole time.
So, quick question: the young individual I was talking to, sailor looking or guard looking?
No, he doesn't look like a sailor. He looks like he's some sort of security guard or some sort of individual that would be less inclined to be yanking on ropes, and probably more likely to be looking tough and or solving problems with violence.
So Rhea gets up to the counter. What's the tab for Soldier Boy over there?
Oh, I only had one drink, so
unfortunately my notes got deleted for Lucky Tanker. Give me a second here.
I'm assuming it's just a couple copper.
It was a couple copper. Let's say 8 copper plus the food. So he's good at 1 silver.
1 silver. All right.
Aye.
I'll go collect that for you. Before I go, anything you can mention about him? Anyone he came in with?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Anything you can mention about him? Anyone he come in with?
He kind of like arcs his neck to kind of look in his in the gentleman's direction a little bit better. Come to think of it, I didn't see him come in with anyone, and he doesn't really match any of the sailors. I'm not sure. Actually, couldn't tell you much about him.
Dear GM.
Yes.
The archer that fell off the roof and that ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea walked kind of right past him as he fell on his back right next to her.
Yep.
Would she put any 2 and 2 together?
Roll me a history check. Let's do it that way. See what you can remember from that hectic scenario.
God, I hate the dice sometimes.
Okay. With a 5, you kind of glance over at him as as Durham finishes his sentence, and he doesn't look familiar. He doesn't like strike any resemblance, like oh that's anyone I recognize. But his garb is similar. There's a few similarities to it. I will say, even with a 5, the big thing that kind of catches your curiosity at least is the shoulder pauldron. You notice that all of the archers had a rather similar shoulder pauldron on their offhand.
All right. Rhea's going to go return to the poor soul, and I've got your tab right here. 1 silver.
He kind of like pats himself around a bit.
Are all over the place.
You're
I'm
fine.
sorry.
He like pats himself around a bit. Hang on, let me find my coin here. And he's like looking around for his coin. And it's very clear that he's so tired he can't figure out like where his stuff is. And he's like looking around for it. Let's do it this way.
Would Rhea be able to peer on his person, just like looking at him?
Yeah, go for
if
it.
he's just like patting right over top of it?
Yeah. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. You clearly see he has a small little, leather pouchette affixed to his belt on his left side that he just keeps missing with his padding.
So has he rounded the table, kind of getting himself ready to leave? So he's not like behind the table or anything. Rhea's basically standing right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea's gonna reach down where his coin purse is going to be tied to his belt. I believe it's right here.
Oh, sorry.
And
about
she's
that.
basically resting her hands now next to his hip.
Okay, and he kind of like stops and like reaches towards it, kind of glances at Rhea, like thank you, I appreciate that. And he takes it off, reaches into it, takes out 2 silver, and hands it over to you. Says, I really appreciate that. I do believe.
No worries
it's...
at all.
Yeah, and as he looks up, I think I need to, and he looks towards one of the open. Again, remembering that Lucky Tankard doesn't have doors to the tavern. There are open 3, basically like 2 open walls on either side, and then 1 massive open wall, and all of those kind of face towards the north, east, and west of the wharf area. He glances up towards the west side of the room, towards the west entrance, and he glances up and says, "Oh, looks like I have some friends to help me get home. I appreciate this." And as he says that, you kind of glance up in the direction he's looking, and you see 2 individuals standing in the shadowy sort of archways that lead out of the tankard, matching in similar physical appearance to him, and similar garb, but they're mostly obscured by shadow as far as major details. Even with dark vision, you're only seeing grayscale, but you can make out a little. You can obviously see them standing in the shadows.
Ah, friends. Mind me asking, I'm terribly sorry. I don't see a lot of sailors around here, that are of your description. What company are you with?
I'm not really a sailor. I'm more of a security, so to speak. And I'm sorry, I can't really answer that right now. And he like looks half perplexed and inquisitive as to why you're asking that, and half I just don't want to talk. I'm tired. Kind of that mixture on his face.
Well, if you need any company, some words, you can find me here.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Why? Dice, please.
Dice telling stories. He goes, I appreciate that. We're not going to be in town. Well, actually, I don't know how long we're going to be in town for. I'll try to come back and be another good patron here, and maybe I'll be a little more awake. And as he says that, he kind of like nods with appreciation and starts walking in the direction of his compatriots. If you'd like to roll me a perception check one more time, please.
Keep forgetting I have inspiration too, so
true.
Yeah.
Yep.
22.
As he starts to wander off towards the archway, you see him rubbing his eyes. You glance up at the individuals waiting for him, and right as they all kind of gather and turn to walk into the darkness off to the west side of the docks, you recognize one of the two waiting is the archer that ran off. And they start walking westward out of the Lucky Tankard into the darkness of the night, west along the wharf.
Which would have been towards the docks that was mentioned in the note.
Well, the docks is the whole stretch in either direction of the Tankard. The Tankard's almost
yeah,
dead
but they
center.
said, I'm pretty sure they said west docks in the note. Am I wrong?
I believe the note said... Nope, did not.
Waterfront warehouse, okay.
Yep.
That's what it said. Okay.
Oh,
so,
thank you, Tyro. Yeah, I'll
Rhea,
explain that in a bit.
being rusty as heck in trying to gather her information, has kind of fumbled tonight. But she's going to kind of weave her way through the crowds and get back to the group's table, still eyeballing the area where they all left from. I'm wondering if she would have gotten to the table before Soldier Boy met up with the archer.
Like, back to the group's table?
Yeah, if Rhea got to the group's table before he got to his friends, or as they were basically just starting to turn and walk.
It depends on how long she would have lingered to see him meet up. If it was just like she just glances like as she's walking away and sees it, then yes. If it was like kind of that stand there and watch it happen and go, oh shoot, and then turn, no.
Okay. She would have been holding the coin, watching him walk, and as soon as she kind of recognizes, be it as he gets closer to them or before he's even at them, at that moment she's starting to do her weave and walk towards the group's table.
Okay.
We have a small problem. She dips in next to Talina.
Remember, Talina and Pipwick are still playing music with the band.
Oh,
unless
never mind.
Unless that is stopped.
Who's at the table then? Kyria. Kyria's the next one that she would lean into. So she leans down to Kyria and says, we have a small problem.
I assume you do not mean half of us getting drunk.
No. I just tabbed out a member of that same band. And Rhea's been looking in the same direction that they were leaving from this entire time. In the distance, is there any vessel that may have that sigil flying?
At this time of night, from the angle of where you have very limited visibility on any ships,
Okay.
and especially any like high-masted ships where you're going to be able to see any sort of insignia, flags, or banners being flown.
I was just thinking if it was a light-colored banner, then the symbol might be silhouetted.
Yeah, unfortunately, no, not from what you can visually see. That doesn't necessarily mean that isn't. It's just you can't see anything from where you're standing.
Gotcha. My view distance
Also,
isn't
if
high
it's
enough.
on the sails, those will all be furled. So.
Correct.
I wasn't looking for the sails. I was looking for the flag at the top mast.
Yep, I gotcha.
But yeah. So Rhea's basically told Kyria they were just here, and she's gonna add, and I saw our friend from the fight earlier too leave with that boy.
What do you propose we do about it?
I don't know yet, but we need to let everybody know when they're coherent and around. And then she looks over to Dax. Did Dax catch any of the words? Because I'm assuming Kyria is sat semi-close to Dax.
I don't know where we'd be sitting.
I'm just trying to understand
Dax is actually at the bar.
Oh, Dax
Oh,
moved
that's
up to the
right. No,
bar.
you went to
Yeah,
get
and then
to the bar.
depending on how long this conversation,
You would probably have gotten back by now.
So she wouldn't have gotten back. She
Okay.
would have gotten her drinks.
Mm-hmm.
She would have asked Durnham for another one of the hard ones that he gave,
Mm-hmm.
and then for something lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then once she had paid for those, she would have gone up to her room.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, he would have backing up a little bit because I apologize. I did forget about that. He sees you at the bar, finishes up with a patron, moves over to you, and says, "Hi, did you enjoy that, lass?"
Yeah, I did.
Fantastic. Would you care for some more or something else?
Yeah, can I have one more as
course.
well as something on the lighter side?
Aye, of course. And he quickly pours you a small tankard of what he has now referred to as void liquor, and he pours you a larger full-size tankard of the hill cider, which is obviously the much lighter appley scented and flavored cider that they have. Slides them over to you. She says, one silver will cover me for tonight, and he winks at you.
She passes over 2 gold, keep the change, and
He smiles
takes
and
takes the 2 tankards and goes up to her room.
All right. So as Dax, you guys would see in the distance, various members of this group would see Daxori disappearing up the staircase to her room. So in that case, back to the original question, Kyria and Tippy and I believe Grigor would all be at the table with when Hellraya returns.
So, following up with everything that Rhea has said so far, she's kind of like addressing everybody else at the table now who is coherent.
Mm-hmm.
I say we have a meeting as soon as possible, when everyone is not busy and this place is either less crowded or we find somewhere quiet. And this is noticeable. Rhea has had like this perfectionist almost mask on this entire time of perfect, suave, like signature look of superiority type deal. And she is actually looking terrified when talking about these people. I just want that pointed out. I've got to get this coin back to Durnham. You keep enjoying yourselves, but keep your heads on the swivel, please. She taps the coin on the table and then moves up to the bar to get the tab paid out.
All right. So the tab gets paid out. Daxori has retreated back to her room for the evening. One by one, various patrons start to pass out drunk or leave the tavern as the hours go on, or as the time goes on, I should say. After a while of playing music, Pip and Talina with this band, the 2 other patrons that were not as sloshed out drunk as the one end up kind of politely excusing themselves from the music and go to their friend who is now full on snoring on the floor and help pick him up and start hauling him out the door, stopping to pay Durnham on the way out. And you see him dragging him as they each hold one of his shoulders, and his feet just scrape across the floor as they walk out eastward out of the tavern into the darkness of the night. Would you guys continue playing, or would you guys finish when they're done?
The moment the last one of them starts, so when it's just Pitwick and I start like building to a crescendo and then pausing to have Pip take a verse. I'm like kind of like doing a battle, like suggesting a little back and forth
Yeah, I'll go with that.
to kind of like round the evening off.
All I can think of when you say that is maybe I'll be Tracer. I'm already Tracer.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so in that case, can I get performance checks from each of you?
I rolled a 19 earlier. Is this a new one, or can I use that one?
Since you're basically like trying to start a battle of the bands sort of vibe here,
Yeah.
this would be a separate roll.
You win.
What did you roll?
A 1.
Not
Yeah,
well.
I probably win. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So after one or two rounds of back and forth with both sides doing pretty well, Talina rounds it off and finishes off this kind of back and forth with a much more polished musical response. And with a 19, I'll say that just a little bit of that magic spills out, even though it wasn't intentional. The item itself is imbued with magical properties, and a little bit of that magic just happens to seep into the final chords and notes that are strung on that lyre, and just kind of send it over the top. And it's kind of clear that the winner of this bout is Talina in the musical department of this little tussle.
Pipwick would notice, especially because at this point, like, we're facing each other and we're paying attention to each other. Pipwick would notice that while I'm playing, the lyre strings almost look like they're not so much just vibrating to the music, but like flickering in and out of this dimension, kind of.
I'm trying to picture that in my head.
The music is out of this world.
Yeah, they're literally blinking between visibility and invisibility.
I'm
as opposed
picturing
to
them
just
kind of
vibrating.
I'm picturing them kind of like phasing in and out, like from like Marvel
Yeah.
stuff, like where they kind of like. But with that,
Getting lost in that is what made me fuck up.
there you go. Perfect. Yeah, you got distracted by the lyre strings. I love that. Okay, so a little musical Guitar Hero battle happens. Daxori has retreated. The bar starts kind of winding down ever so slightly over the next hour or so. And it is here we're going to go ahead and pause, and we'll pick this up again next session, as we will start from either middle of the night or the following morning in next session.
Huzzah.
I did want to have that conversation with Durnham, but we can do that next session.
Yes, we can. We'll start next session with that. Cool. All right, because I know people are getting really tired. So.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, that'll wrap that one up. And I'll hit the button here.